do have a surprise in a few moments for everybody. Is my surprise going to turn the camera on or not? I don't know. Listen, Madami's the future of the party. Mandami is the future of the party. Don't get it twisted. Future of the party. I've been putting a lot of effort into ringing the bell, all right? A lot of effort. I think we're going to have a good week, though. I'm excited, re-energized. What I did find interesting was that Google rations AI capacity to Meta as infrastructure crunch intensifies. They limited Meta's access to its Gemini artificial intelligence models. Pretty wild. And we got to ask this guy what he thinks. Matt,
Steven,
how are you?
Steve, you know why they call me Double M?
Double M, Matt Money. Why do they call you that?
Because I'm also down 2 million.
Somebody's got to be.
What a great day. Steve, you are the future.
What I mean, I'm not going to say anything. We're just going to roll with it.
What's it like to be the future?
We're just going to roll with it.
Inquiring minds want to know, is your hair AI?
No, my hair is actually messed up. I went out for a very long walk. I'm actually surprised. See, like right there, it's a little messed up. So
you tell the AI to do that.
Listen, I went out for a very long walk. I got my 10,000 steps in.
Steve, seeing your gorgeous New York face, makes me want to watch Animal Kingdom right now.
Matt.
We'll talk about that. Oh, Maddie goes out for dinner and Steven comes back with a haymaker from downtown.
I went into the bin. I got it out. I started playing GTA 5 again today.
Steve, we got to get ready.
I got to get ready. Got to sharpen up the driving skills. Got to sharpen up the aim. Got to get ready for the 19th.
I missed my window, Steve.
What?
I missed my window. My goal was to knock up some chick so that way I had to take paternity leave and get 6 weeks.
So instead of hanging out with your kid, you're going to play GTA.
No, that's what the money's for.
Okay. Matt's just going to hire an au pair right off the bat.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, guys, I wouldn't do that. Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
Sure.
Steve, I wouldn't do something like that.
All right. All jokes aside, I forgot how good GTA 5 is, and I am getting even more interested in Take-Two now. After seeing the pre-orders, I really think that this is going to be horrible for the country. Every young male, all you're going to see is people playing this 24/7. It's going to be crazy. And honestly, I think the analyst estimates are wrong. I think that these numbers are light. How about that? I think they're light. I think the revenue numbers may be light.
You know what's a good model, Steve? I don't know if the old numbers are out there, but like using Blizzard before they got acquired might be a good model.
For what? Valuation on the company?
Well, not just evaluation of the company, but being able to grow. I don't know. I'm not good with this stuff, but like Blizzard's acquired now, right?
Yeah, Microsoft bought them. I think, what was it, 67 million? Hold on.
Something crazy. But like, I'm not good with math. You know that. But that reoccurring revenue stream is going to be insane.
69 billion. I was off by 2 bill.
How could you?
68.7 to be exact. 95 a share is what they bought Activision for.
I don't know. I mean, so what exactly is going to be the reoccurring revenue stream? I mean, yes, you have to pay money for.
Oh, listen. I think that they're going to make it where this is semi pay to win. I would, where if they were smart, they would add in a $9.99 a month and $19.99 a month package for credits, weapons, all that stuff.
I'd pay
So
it.
many people would do that. I've tweeted at Blizzard before and said to them, if you guys just put something for $49.99 a month or $39.99 a month, where people that don't have time to play but want to play WoW get all the end game stuff so they can just raid without grinding, everybody will come back to the game. You'll never get back to 10 million players because everybody who used to play doesn't have time to grind.
Steve, do you have your bell ready?
Maddie, don't worry about my bell.
Don't worry about the bell. Oh.
We're off.
We got Teddy Grams in the chat. I would destroy some chocolate Teddy Grams right now.
We are off and running, ladies and gentlemen. SanDisk is running. SanDisk is at 2140. Micron 1158. CrowdStrike 708. The Qs are up almost 1%. The SPY is up almost 1%. Nibius 244. ARM 337. Google, the Googs 340. Microsoft up 343. We like that. Qualcomm's up a little bit. SpaceX 155. ASTS Space Mob almost 74. ServiceNow, I like that. Trying to get back to 100. Broadcom 381. This is moving quick, ladies and gentlemen. Marvell 260 something. AMD, Lena's favorite company, 522. Amazon 233. Reddit 167.79. Full disclosure, I have options that expire on Thursday on Reddit at 172.50. AMD 522, Apple 284, IBM 272, QXO up again over 18, ladies and gentlemen.
Oil
69.64. I'll take it. Trading on the lower side of the band. I'll take it. Oil markets are not spooked. Salesforce trying to get back to 160. Zeta, ladies and gentlemen, 1919. If you didn't get a chance to watch the video I shot with Nick, he may know more about Zeta than anybody I know. He is wealth of knowledge, and I'm super bullish on Zeta. That's why I took in the stock draft. That's why I have a big position in Zeta. Super bullish. I think this deal with Palantir will be transformational. And David Steinberg believes it's going to generate about $100 million plus a year. Venture Global up a tick. SoFi 1791, Lululemon 117, Uber flat. What's down? Bitcoin under 60,000. Crypto winter still here, ladies and gentlemen. Crypto winter is still here. Hood 98.37. Matt Money. How you feeling?
Steve, where's good old SpaceX? I got people trolling me in the chat.
Good old SpaceX. Right here, 154, sir. 154. SpaceX.
Okay.
I still don't like it here.
I think it needs to come down, Steve.
I still don't like it here. I still don't like it.
No? I need to close out my USO. Oh, I did that? Okay, so I need to close out my USO this week, Steve.
Oh, there's going to be a monthly fee for GTA Plus online. I like that.
We got to get the Milk Gang ready. Oh!
You got to get the Milk Gang ready. Did you play 5?
I didn't play that much online. In retrospect, I regret it. Because people still play it online.
So we can create our own online and we can only play with people we know. We're going to do a poll right now, ladies and gentlemen. I want to know how many of you play GTA 5.
GPIX is up
GPIX?
2.5% overnight. I don't know why. I'm wondering why. I have like a small, like 600K portfolio in Robinhood. Did I make this public? Probably not. But yeah, like a small 600K portfolio, and it's up like $9,000. I don't know why. I mean, VG's up a little bit, Rocket Lab's up a little bit.
Where's my Reddit? Trying to get to 168. I mean, I gotta tell you, selling options on Reddit has been awesome.
You've probably made 25%.
That volatility has been crazy with the choppiness. I got my cost per share, I think, down from 167.50 to like 146, something like that.
You're a good man, Steve. Some say the best.
You know, Matt, you would say that. I would not say that.
You wouldn't say?
So we got 38% that actually play GTA 5.
Still?
Yeah, that's the way I framed it. Do you play GTA 5? We got 164 votes, 36% yes.
Steve, we're about to re-kick off?
I mean, do we start a crew in GTA and just play GTA 5 now for a while with everybody? I think we should.
Just get it started?
Yeah.
I would do it. It's online now, right?
GTA 5? Yeah.
On the, PC, right?
Yeah.
Steven.
We may have to do this, Matt.
Steven.
I'm ready. I'm not shook. All right. AMD, Lena's favorite company, 521. Amazon. I was having a conversation with my father today. This is, I think Amazon's one of the best buys. I really do.
Steve, I have a couple small little like private loans out there. I get a couple $100 a month from, some small.
Yeah. Matt thinks he's a Shylock, everybody.
I am the street.
You think you're a Shylock now?
I don't know what that means. Why does that sound racist?
A Shylock?
Why does Shylock sound racist, Steve?
It's not racist, Matt.
Explain it. What is it?
It's a loan shark. Shylock is a loan shark.
It sounded racist to me. I'm going to take it as racially charged. How could you?
Oh my God.
Sorry. I really had like, I didn't know where I don't know. People in the chat are out of control. What was I going to say? Yeah, I got one of my checks. It was supposed to be, I don't know. It's supposed
I can't
to come
believe you're a
time.
hard money lender now.
Steve, are you judging me?
I'm not judging you. Just saying, I'm just surprised.
It sounds like you are.
I'm surprised that you are lending instead of investing in the market. That's all. I see all those hard money things, and I just never wanted to do it.
Oh, I mean, this is more like between friends and family, which is never a good idea.
Just those, okay.
It's otherwise it was just like, oh, well, how are we gonna fund this? And it was like, well,
sure.
Yeah. So anyway, get a couple $100 a month from that, and got a check. Gonna put it in Amazon.
Listen, Maddie's a loan shark now, ladies and gentlemen. Lending money instead of investing in the market. Craziness.
I run a brothel.
CoreWeave is up a little bit, ladies and gentlemen. Cisco, Tommy Dimes' favorite company, is trying to get back to 115. Matt, what are you buying this week?
Steve, you might run North Jersey, but you don't run me. Okay.
Oh.
Too bad Steve doesn't work. Imagine if you were in North Jersey, how much shit I would give you.
Listen, rather be in South Jersey than North Jersey.
Oh,
you know
Steve,
why?
You need the place to be. I got some houses for you.
You know why?
Why is that?
Because the Borgata's right there.
That's more like mid Jersey, though.
What are you talking about?
AC? Isn't AC
That's
like
South Jersey?
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's like very South Jersey.
Well, I mean, my stuff is like literally on the bottom of Jersey, so
Very South Jersey.
I'm like 3 miles from the bottom of Jersey. What were we talking about?
Amazon, Microsoft, I think they're going to run. I don't know when, but I think they're going to run.
I just can't imagine a world where they don't.
Look, we're heading into Q2 earnings. We're heading into Q2 earnings. We are July 4th is Saturday. And then you know what happens right after July 4th? The big banks kick off.
You doing anything for 250, Steve?
I mean, we may be doing a little grilling. We'll see.
I've been checking my mailbox every day for an invite, and
you have an open invite. You're just on the other side of the country.
Oh, okay. Now he's making up excuses. Okay.
The 14th of July, JP Morgan Chase reports earnings. Okay.
Kicks us off.
So we have July 4th and then a week off. And then we got earnings season. Earnings season is here already. I want to see exactly where the big banks are, where the financial institutions are at. It's going to set the tone. Then we get Tesla. Then we roll into the Mag 7. You can't tell me that if Microsoft and Amazon and Meta put up really good earnings, they stay here. And think about this. We're in a market where the biggest companies in the world are not participating. We've been hovering around all-time highs. Meta's not participating. Microsoft's not participating. Amazon kind of not really. NVIDIA's dropping. NVIDIA's 18% off its highs.
Steve, you want to know something wild right now?
Wait, what?
You want to know something wild right now?
Sure. What's wild, Matt?
Your boy is naked. Your boy is naked on Amazon, and your boy is naked on the Microsoft.
Those are also not the best to write calls on because the IV is not that much.
Yeah, but they were down so much. I just realized. I'm like looking.
Why don't you just go buy 100 shares of Reddit and write a call against it?
First and foremost, don't tell me how to live my life.
Just look at Reddit. Trust me.
I'm really happy that you've been doing so well on it. Like, because you've just been like, I'm okay getting a call at 170, 172. Yeah. And you just been in the pocket, just riding along. Yeah. Stevie Boy Wonder over here.
Have you even looked at the option chain?
I have. It's impressive.
It's crazy. So
but for when's everybody, it gonna moon? Like, I have a strong feeling that one day we're just gonna wake up and Reddit's gonna be $200.
For everybody watching, do not do what I'm doing. I have a little bit of an iron stomach for this, but Reddit right now, over a 4-day period, you can write the 172.50s and get 353. What is that? 2% in 4 days?
Steve, I get it. You're better than me.
I'm just saying.
Steve, you know you can make some real money?
This should be good.
Covered calls on Rocket Lab.
You know where you can make some good money? Lending it out to people.
Check and mate, Steve. Check and mate.
Rocket Lab options. Let's look at this. So for July 2nd, yeah, pretty good. Wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole, though.
I mean,
I'm just saying. Yeah, here's the difference. I think Reddit can go up.
Jesus,
like
I say
Reddit's
$600,000 account.
Very interesting investment.
About it for 20 minutes. Oh man. So have you? I mean, basis points last week. So we missed a week because Amit hates us. Yeah. Just kidding. But last week, so Thursday last week, you'd said you'd accumulated approximately 19%. What did you roll? What was those calls for expiring that Friday? And you rolled some. Or are you doing weeklies? Are you doing 14 days out? What's WW?
I'll tell you right now. No, I'm doing weeklies.
Unfortunately, I didn't.
So
I hate the
I've
word that
generated
people.
about 24% on my position.
He's better than us. I get it. Are you buying more? Or are you just pocketing that?
No, I'm putting it into other stuff.
You should put it into me, Steve.
You
Invest in me.
know, I'm buying Salesforce with it. I'm buying Microsoft with it.
I don't hate Salesforce here. I think they're going to
Dude,
continue to do well.
Salesforce here, it's a joke. It's a joke.
And for anybody, I wish Tevis reached out to me sooner. Steve called me earlier. I can figure out when, but he asked me to do the futures, and I was out to dinner when Tevis reached out to me, unfortunately, and I just got back. That's why I was 5 minutes late for the future show.
Look at oil over the past month.
Bullish America, bearish Maddie's job.
Bullish America.
Bearish Matt's job. No, I think $70 is a perfect slot for everybody.
Yeah, you've always said that.
Yeah, 70 is great.
You have always said that.
The issue now, though, Steve, and I'll just I can't talk much about this, but yeah. I can't go into too much detail. But because we had these recent increases in prices, you've had a lot of people coming back to market to try to get oil in different areas. So you're going to have people kind of like what you're seeing with data centers right now. Everybody's running to get contractors to be able to drill at $100 for oil when the sun was shining. Everyone wanted to make hay, right? Now that oil is back down, you're going to need that balloon effect to kind of deflate again. So margins are going to be impacted by this. So what used to be printing money at $70 oil, $75 oil is going to be squeezed now because you've had these contractors that have renegotiated at higher price. I actually work at a gas station. That's a hysterical comment. I saw that and I was just like, I have to address that. And now you have these contractors that have been able to take advantage of getting pipelines, et cetera, to kind of bypass the Strait of Hormuz and all these other things. And that's going to squeeze margins. And so until you actually right size, it's not going to impact everybody at the pump. In fact, I think, it might be okay. Maybe refining will be hit. I don't know how refining margins look. I don't really play in that world as much. But in terms of oil companies, it actually might not be a bad time once these flow through. Q2 is still going to be good because a lot of contracts obviously we're just getting done, and oil prices really have only come down in the past week and a half, 2 weeks. And so the majority of 2Q is actually going to look pretty good. I think 3Q and 4Q is potentially when, if people want to start loading up on oil companies again, the opportunity, because I think margins are going to get squeezed a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, crude falling, margins will definitely get squeezed. There's no way that it wouldn't.
Yeah, I meant just like pre-war. So like when it was below $70 pre-war, margins were probably okay, and we were kind of in an equilibrium. The prices skyrocketed. People were able to say like break-even prices for a lot of these fields may have come up slightly because it costs more. People were trying to get more rigs, etc. Now that we're back down to the same price pre-war, the margins pre-war and post-war are going to be shrunk.
I get it, Matt.
I'm your foreman, but I'm not going to dox his job. People want to know. They can always search for me. I'm not hiding.
I mean, how about we don't do that?
I mean, people have done it.
How about we don't? How about we just don't? How about we don't? We say we did. How about that?
Scotty down.
Intel, huh? I don't know. I'm not that big of a fan of Intel. I will add it to the list, though.
Do we think they're actually going to follow through, though? Have they been? I've gotten so turned off from the Intels of the world. Have they actually been doing a turnaround, or is it just the hype that they will have a turnaround? Because we've been in this situation before, if that's the case.
I don't know.
And it's not to say that Intel isn't massive, right? Intel is a massive monster, and it's not that it's not gonna be profitable. It's just if they keep doing what they have been doing, they're still gonna be massively profitable. It's just will they be able to innovate and be able to capture and go for the big boys? And I just don't know enough. I haven't been paying attention to the Intel story enough.
It's very hard for me to like Intel here. It's very hard for me to like it.
Why?
It's so expensive. The foundries lose business. And with NVIDIA making their new chips, I would just rather be in Intel. I mean, look at this. I am really considering buying more NVIDIA if it keeps falling. NVIDIA, AMD, Broadcom, Qualcomm, Intel.
His name's Steven. 192, Steve?
It's pretty hard to get excited about Intel when AMD and Broadcom both have more forward growth expected and trade it fractions of the forward multiple.
193?
I can't get excited about Intel here. Not when you can buy NVIDIA at 13 times forward, which does not make sense.
Steve, did you pick up a lot of QXO at 15?
No, I picked some more up at 16
How could you?
or 16.25, something like that. But yeah, look, QXO is a play on rates. It's a play on oil, and it's a play on the home builders actually building again. And I think it's going to do well over the next 2 years. I think Brad Jacobs is one of the best CEOs, one of the best entrepreneurs in the country. And I think it's really going to work out. I am a big fan of Enbridge, ladies and gentlemen. Big fan of Enbridge. Oh, Seeking Alpha putting out an article, Maddie, a little company that you know of. I just wrote an article on. If you're interested in dividends, feel free to go read this article. It is on a little energy infrastructure company called MPLX. MPLX. Did you know that they have a 7.7% distribution with 12.5% annual increases, Matt?
Steve, I didn't.
Are you getting a 12.5% raise every year, Matt?
I don't know what GPX is doing.
No, raise, not dividend. Raise.
Yeah. I don't know what they're doing.
The rate of inflation. MPLX has got you covered. What? Why are you laughing?
You're a great.
What, the way I said it got you covered?
Huh?
Nothing.
Why are you switching me around?
Because you're looking to the side. So now I have you looking to the side toward me. Is that okay?
What if I look this way?
Well, you see, now you're looking at me, so it's all good.
MPLX.
MPLX is very interesting. It's one of the more interesting energy infrastructure companies.
Is it more liquids or natural gas?
Natural gas. And a lot of crude. It's actually a mixture.
I don't think crude oil is going much away in the United States. I mean, I think that we're going to maintain 10 to 15 million barrels a day of production for quite some time, oil specifically. I think where we will see MSCR is below $80.
Whoa. Wendy's getting after it again, ladies and gentlemen. Wendy's is up almost 9%. Wall Street Bets wants to bring Wendy's back. Spicy chicken, baby.
Holy crap. MicroStrategy really is dropping like a rock.
What's the ticker?
MSTR.
Oh, they're so screwed.
I think that this could be a if Bitcoin does sustain, this could be a generational buying opportunity.
For strategy.
Yes.
Did you watch the Peter Schiff video?
He's been which one, Steve? He's been
The one he
trashing Bitcoin.
just made.
No.
It's time for a poll. We need to know if the chat agrees with that statement, Matt. Is this a generational buying opportunity for MSTR?
Steve,
Let's see.
Do me a favor, right?
Yeah.
Instead of just go to all instead of 5-year for MicroStrategy. You see back when it spiked up in the last Bitcoin rally after 2020?
Yes.
And it dropped precipitously?
Yes.
To what price did that get to back in 2022, 2023?
About 15.
And then it went from 15 to what?
I hear you. I hear what you're saying. But I don't think last time around he had all of these preferred shares paying dividends and all this other stuff that people think is financial manipulation.
Okay.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying I think that this is different now. I know nothing about it, but I'll tell you what. At 82.31, if this gets to 50, I mean, I don't know. You buy a couple hundred shares for the hell of it? I don't know. What do you think,
Admit,
Matt?
it's our show. Calm down. Just kidding. Admit in the chat, everybody. Glad he's here.
Oh, that must be so weird that it's 8 a.m. there and the overnight market is open.
The first time I went to the UK, it was very, very interesting.
That must be so weird.
Because it was interesting because, like, when I was in the UK, it was like I would be able to get my work day and, like, not be distracted by the markets. And then I'd be closing up my day and the markets would open. And so it would pretty much be open until I went to bed. It was pretty cool. I liked it, actually.
Matt, I don't know. We're gonna have to see what happens with Saylor. I think
it's gonna be fun. I mean, the next 6 months to a year, I would just keep people's eyes on this, right? I'm not saying make a rash decision. I'm not saying, but if you think that he can come out on the other side of this,
oh, he may.
MicroStrategy, I think, is actually going to be a potentially great buy. Just like I think BMNR is going to be a great buy. Unfortunately, I sold, and I still need to make a video about that because I think, but I like Broadcom, so I bought Broadcom. I bought some.
Yeah, Broadcom's really annoying right now. If we look at I think Broadcom's a generational opportunity, my own opinion, and I think it's going to continue to do well. I'm a little shocked that it sold off with how strong that earnings report was. That earnings report was absolutely incredible.
Did Bros break out again, Steve?
All right. 46% of the chat agrees with you, Matt. Almost 50-50.
They're just grumpy girls because they all got bought into BMNR early.
Listen, you tried warning us. It's okay.
It's okay. This stuff moves in cycles, and
I may have to buy more. It's okay.
BMNR. I don't think buying BMNR here is bad.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to buy more. Probably have the dollar cost average into it. Again.
But if I were to put money on it, Damn, it's at $13, Steven.
I know.
I
This
think
doesn't
it
make
has
sense.
see, Bitmine, I think, has opportunity to get lower for sure. But the thing that I don't think people fully recognize is that if the price of Ethereum doubles, the net income doubles as well. Because generally it's a yield on, so they're staking the Ethereum now, and they're only making a couple hundred grand or sorry, a couple hundred million on the staking. But think if Ethereum does double, then the net income doubles. So it's going to
And
be interesting to see.
if Beast Enterprises ever goes public for what they're saying it is valued at, that $200 million investment that BM&R made is going to be pretty interesting. And Chris Camillo was talking about this is going to be a $20 billion company.
What, BM&R?
No, Beast Enterprises.
I can see it.
But look at Microsoft breaking down further than it did in March. For no reason. Like, what has changed with the story with Microsoft? And that's why I think we can go past 800. I'm sorry, 8,000 S&P, because you have the biggest companies not participating. Think about this chart on a year-to-date basis. Not participating. NVIDIA. Not participating. And it's nowhere near the all-time highs. It's about 18% off. Meta. That's not Meta. Can't click for some reason. Not participating. There's a lot of companies. We look at Palantir, that's not participating. You have SAS not participating. You have a lot of the Mag 7 not participating. This could be a market that really runs.
I think you just need some earnings to come through.
Yeah.
I think people think that there's just going to be some massive turnaround trend where revenue continues to go down. And I just don't think it's going to happen. I think they just need to continue to prove and execute that. And I think eventually you hit a floor where we move from 27 to 2028 valuations, like towards the latter half of this year. And I think people are going to be like, what do you mean NVIDIA is trading at 13x 2028 earnings, right? And I think that that's really just where we need to get to, is just time in the market, and given the opportunity to buy more companies like Microsoft down here, where the margins are continuing to do extremely well, and the multiples continuing to contract. It just doesn't make sense.
Well, I was saying this earlier. A lot of people are really bullish on Hood. A lot of people are talking about prediction markets. It's going to be a bigger revenue driver than crypto. I got news for everybody. Look at the forward valuation on SoFi versus Hood. SoFi trades at 17 times forward. Hood trades at 32 times, and SoFi has more expected EPS growth. Just saying.
No, I think SoFi is a great place to put money right now.
I think SoFi is going to be in such a good spot.
Look, $1.03, Steve. $1.03 in earnings,
and that could be very light. I would think, and I'm not going to put words in Noto's mouth, but if you go back and you listen to what he said on basis points, I think $1.03 is light.
And by the way, this isn't any hate on Robinhood. Robinhood's great.
No, it's a great company. I just think that SoFi is a better value proposition here. I think SoFi can get to 40 before Robinhood gets to 175.
I can see that. Yeah, I could see that. But that would require, do you think that they're going to get re-rated as like an actual fintech multiple, Steve?
I think that they need strong earnings, which I think they're going to have. We need rates to come down a little bit. And I think we need a couple of quarters for SoFi USD, for big business banking. I think we're going to need a couple of really strong quarters This company is either going to aggressively appreciate or it's going to get acquired. There's no way this company continues to grow earnings at the rate it's going to and stays at this valuation. I just don't see it happening.
So people are asking if I'm going to buy Rocket Lab. I am buying Rocket Lab at these levels. I turned it off.
Really?
Well, I'm buying every company in my portfolio. I'm buying, right? I mean, Palantir, Microsoft. I'm buying everything that's in my portfolio.
Check this out, Matt. SoFi versus Hood. Okay.
Pardon?
SoFi versus Hood.
Okay.
SoFi's at 22. SoFi's 23 billion market cap. Hood's 89 billion. Okay. SoFi wins on every single thing from price to book, price to sales, EV to EBITDA, PEG ratio of 0.6 versus Hood's a 1, forward and trailing PE. And then we look at the revenue. Hood's revenue is not that much more than SoFi's, yet the market cap is basically 4x. Just saying, like, if Hood is going to get valued at that level, I don't know. Now, I get it. Hood's got better margins. SoFi's in ultra growth mode. Better ROE and ROIC. SoFi is in aggressive investing. Okay. But if you look at on the actual EBITDA generated, SoFi trades at 26 times. Hood trades at 40 times. Operating income, 35 times versus 41 times. I'm just saying that there's a real case for SoFi here.
I don't disagree.
So we'll see. I mean, there's a lot of things I think are mispriced. A lot of things.
Well, we were here before, right? Like Google. Yeah. I remember having this conversation with people when Google was in the shitter in the low 100s. And I was telling people, I'm like, if you aren't reading and keeping up, you're going to get lost. And what happened? It went from $120 to 300 something. I don't know what it's at now. I can't keep track.
You in Zeta?
No, I can't afford it.
Can't afford it or won't afford it.
I just keep my position count super small.
Matt, in all seriousness, the video I shot with Nick, this kid is awesome. He really knows his shit with Zeta. Zeta's not even a $5 billion market cap, Matt. Okay. I want you to look at one very specific metric. They do $200 million of free cash flow and trade it under 25 times free cash flow. And they're growing aggressively. I'm telling you, I would not be surprised if Zeta becomes a $20 billion company.
How much? 20?
Yeah. I mean, look at the current earnings. They're trading at 20 times earnings.
I don't think it's bad.
I think Zeta is going to be one of the best. Zeta could be the best performer in my stock draft portfolio. In all seriousness.
Oof. Sorry, I worked the.
Let's see how we're doing the stock draft.
What's that? I'll see how we're doing. $19 for Zeta right now.
Maddie is even. Amit is in last place. I'm in second to last. The basis points crew is getting smoked by everybody. I actually have 3 things in the black. I like it. Look at that Salesforce, baby. Salesforce is green. I got some dogs, though. Well, wrong thing. I apologize. I meant to go to Matt's.
Call me a dog, Steve.
Man, that SpaceX short's doing so good for you. So good. So the real question is, Are we going to see a SAS turnaround? Are we going to see, what are we going to say? Are we going to see SAS turnaround? Are we going to see a summer lull? Are we going to see oil taper off? There's a lot of things that got to get done. And I don't know that the crypto bill is going to get signed, Matt. I have a bad feeling about it.
You don't think crypto's done, you said? Going down?
I don't think the crypto bill is going to get signed this year.
Yeah, I mean, I never invested hoping for some sort of bill. I don't know. Hey, I made my crypto move when we signed that private investment last month. So
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, I signed the private investment.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Do you really know?
idea, Matt. No idea.
You really don't know?
No. How do we feel about Chinese AI? If this model that they came out with is really as good as Mythos, I tell you, my BABA position should look pretty damn good.
I need to make a video following up about trimming some of my positions for BMNR, or not BMNR, for Broadcom and GPIX.
Okay. Like what, Matt? Which ones?
Pardon?
Which ones?
Which one's what?
Have you trimmed?
Symbotic and BMNR.
Okay.
And Dutch Bros, unfortunately, as well.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. Broadcom is looking very attractive right now. Have I looked at Maine? Let's rephrase that. Am I a shareholder of Main Street Capital? I am.
Substantial amount, or in the no? Okay.
Maine is definitely looking interesting. It may have bottomed. I'm not sure, but it's a great company. And the fact that the yield is 8.5% now, that may get. I may buy some more this week. Actually, I like Maine a lot.
Yeah, and to iterate, guys, I've talked about this in the past, but I appreciate not everyone can catch every episode. I didn't trim BMNR, Symbotic, and Bros because I dislike the companies. I haven't changed my position on them. It's just that I think Broadcom is much more of a slam dunk with less risk. So.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's see where we're at. All right, Apple 285.
Oh wow,
AMD 518, Amazon 234, ARM 330. I do think that this is a market where tech is going to lead. I think tech's going to rebound. Broadcom 364. I'm a little shocked it's under 400, but you know what? It is what it is. CoreWeave. Maybe I buy more CoreWeave this week, Matt.
You like it?
That's been a crazy chart. Maybe this is something hold on, everybody. Let's look at the option chain. Maybe this is something I start selling.
I don't know, Steve.
Maybe this is something I start selling options on.
I don't know.
Why not? Let's go out to next week. I mean, the fact that you can go out to next week, 9 trading days, and sell the 110 for 185 and get paid 1.55%, 9 days. That's a big premium.
I don't know, Steve.
Why not?
I mean, it recently was at like 125, was it not?
Just saying, you can always roll. No, you don't like it? Okay. It's all right.
I mean, don't listen to me. I sold Rocket Lab covered calls.
I mean, you might as well at this point.
Well, right now, I
bring in that capital.
I bought the majority of them back.
Hood, 98.7. IREN. How do we feel about IREN? A lot of people like IREN under 50.
Have they actually executed anything though, or are they all hype? I thought I heard something last week like they actually haven't done anything yet. It's just hype at the moment. I don't know. I don't know the answer. I don't
follow enough about IREN to say one way or another.
Yeah, I don't. I personally don't know.
Are you kidding me? The option premiums on IREN are crazy.
I don't think you'll do it, Steve.
Oh, I'm looking for the earnings. So here's the problem with IREN. They're not expected to be profitable until 2028, but there's a lot of revenue growth out there next year. Let's see what TipRanks says. There we go. $75 average price target. That's a 59% return.
What do people have on Rocket Lab? We're not going to talk about Rocket Lab, but I'm just curious.
108.
It's gone to 0.
Well, low is 60.
108. It's good. Might as well just be 0. What about Microsoft? Where were people putting that? Oh, fuck. If it went to 560 tomorrow, I don't know. I might have to take my money and run. I don't know what I would do with the money, but
I mean, you're getting a little dividend. Oh, that's a problem. You got to reallocate it. It's Microsoft.
It's the softy.
I mean, if it goes to 562, likely it's going higher, right? I don't know. I just think Microsoft is one of those companies. It was dead money for a while. A long while it was dead money. This is one of the most important companies to the country, to the economy, to big business. They're going to be fine. I mean, look at CRM and Meta. I mean, Salesforce, same thing. They're saying 246, Matt. And then Meta's the big one. We need Zuck to come out and do something on earnings. 8:15. Oh, my God. Meta at the Microsoft needs a blue chew. I like that. Meta at these levels is a gift. Is a gift.
$100.
It's a gift.
Do you really think it's just the drag of all these lawsuits?
I think people hate the metaverse and hate Zuck. I mean, what are we not liking 33% revenue growth year over year? Q1?
No, you don't tell me. I mean,
are we not liking their profitability? I mean,
Steve, the thing that bothers me, these stocks traded massive in 2025.
Yeah.
Is it really just the CapEx?
Yeah.
Like, what is that really it? Like, people are just that flustered by the lack of free cash flow?
Look at Netflix. You a little tired there, Matt?
Maddie's a sleepy baby, Steve.
A little Uber.
Hit the sauna earlier.
Yeah, you're a little drained, going to sleep early tonight.
Probably.
Yes, they're worried about the CapEx. These people the bears are so dumb look, they tried back in 2021 when everything was going crazy. What did you hear? Oh my God, there's no free cash flow, no free cash flow. And then all the pundits on CNBC, they were saying, oh, I'm buying companies with free cash flow, blah, 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 blah. Nobody talked about free cash flow before 2021, 2022, except for several people, including myself. You never heard it. You never heard free cash flow on any of the CNBCs or Bloombergs. Now, I think, my own opinion, everybody is looking at the CapEx being spent and the free cash flow going down. And it is so ingrained in their heads that free cash flow is the most important metric. And it's very important. But it is not the only indication of earnings or profitability. And you have to look at EBITDA. You have to look at operating income. You have to look at net income. You got to look at the whole picture. And why is the free cash flow going down? The free cash flow is not going down because cash from operations is going down. It's going down because they're investing heavily for the next cycle in their business. I think the Bears are wrong. I think the Bears are very wrong.
Steve, can we just talk about something crazy right now?
What would you like to talk about?
I mean, SpaceX was larger than Meta at one point.
Right.
Well, maybe it still is. I don't know. I don't think
it still is, I believe.
It still is?
Yeah.
Can we talk about how Meta's trading at $1.4 trillion market cap, but they make easily over $100 billion in ops cash?
Instead of using SpaceX, can we use Tesla?
You whatever you want. It's your world, Steve. I just live in it.
All right. Meta and Tesla, because we actually have the numbers for Tesla. So I can show them. So Matt, be very objective here. If you did not know, okay, that this was Meta and Tesla, okay? Tesla is a bigger company, but if you didn't know that these were those companies, right? 215 billion revenue, 98 billion revenue. Okay. The ROE on company A is 33%, and the ROIC is 20%. The other one is less than 5% on both. Revenue, gross profit, call it 9x. EBITDA, call it 10x. Operating income, call it 20x. Net income, call it 19x. Okay. So you're telling me that the second company has to grow their EBITDA by 10x to get to where company A is already doing, and company A is a smaller company. Oh, and wait, the margins, EBITDA margin of over 50%, cash from ops margin over 50%, operating margin over 40%. Like, what are we doing here? And then we look at where this is trading. Why on earth is Meta trading here? Yet Tesla still gets this fucking premium. Why?
I don't know.
Meta is one of the... Okay, I'm going to address it. I'm going to blow a fucking gasket. I'm going to blow a fucking gasket about this. I'm sorry for all the children listening. Comparing advertising to a manufacturing company, that's sad. Yeah. Guess what? Both companies generate revenue. Both companies generate profits. It does not matter if you are an AI company or you sell widgets. $1 of revenue is equal to $1 of revenue. A 10% forward growth rate is a 10% forward growth rate. It's all the same. Numbers are the same. It does not matter what industry they're in. Now, obviously, the market traditionally puts different multiples for different sectors. There's no question about that. But if you're looking at business fundamentals, you can compare any companies you want. I am talking business fundamentals, business 101.
Business ethics. No? Billy Madison?
Let's not get crazy.
Okay.
Let's not get crazy.
But the puppy was a dog.
I'm just saying that Meta is inexpensive here. That's all. Inexpensive. Now,
That's why I brought it up, right? I mean, it's insane to me how it's only 1.4 trillion and the speed at which it's growing, right? I mean, wasn't it above 2 at some point? I thought it was above 2 trillion at some point.
it was. Now, look, if you look at Salesforce on its own, $150 billion company, if we're talking about buying great companies that generate a ton of profitability at great valuations, what's not to like about these margins? 30% EBITDA margin, cash from ops margin 35%. You're paying less than 10 times EBITDA, less than 10 times free cash flow, less than 10 times cash from ops. Salesforce can legitimately buy back every share of its company in less than 10 years.
Steve,
what are you laughing at?
The chat, dude. The chat is just the best. They're shouting Billy Madison references back at me, and you're over there stonewalling because God, you're flustered about your Meta versus Tesla statement.
Uh-huh.
The chat's the best. Acknowledge it, Steve.
Oh, the chat's amazing. They always
need the chat has anxious attachment. You need to give them reassurance.
About what?
I'm just joking. I'm just kidding around.
What does the chat need reassurance on?
I'm the one with the anxious attachment. You need to reassure me, Steve.
About what? Meta's going to be okay. It's going to be okay.
Thank you.
I mean, I am buying CRM, and I did buy Meta not too long ago. I'm also buying growth companies like CoreWeave. I mean, I don't just buy value companies. But
I'm flabbergasted that Meta is trading with this.
At some point, you have to call a spade and say that there are companies that are mispriced. Amazon is mispriced. I mean, okay, Amazon and Walmart, there's real opportunities. And look, sometimes I don't want to go into crazy companies. I want to go into bellwethers. I want to go into companies that have staying power. Should Walmart trade at better? Hold on. It's should Amazon be trading this low compared to Walmart? I mean, really. Amazon has never been known for generating its profitability. They reinvest back into the business, yet it trades its 27 times net income. Walmart 39 times. That's crazy.
See, yeah, I just don't understand. Like, I can understand if you're saying, you know what, we're going to price Amazon off a price to net income because, yes, they do have to appreciate a lot of stuff. And that depreciation, obviously, you have to pay for it, right? So I can understand where they say, you know what, price to net income, that's how we're going to value the company. You know, you can't use ops cash because you obviously have to pay for all the capital but the fact that you then have Walmart trading for 60% more on a price to net income basis is insane to me.
I mean, right? How about this? Yeah, and look, Amazon and Walmart are similar companies. They're both staples. Now, Amazon has AWS and they have freight logistics services. They have Prime. They got a lot of things that Walmart does not have. And yet Walmart is basically double the valuation with less growth, with half the growth. There's just a lot of things that, you know, in the market that are mispriced. And I get it. A lot of people want to talk about quantum, and that's fine. That's not my bag. I like profitability, and I like investing in things that I believe are mispriced and doing the fundamental analysis.
I stick, Steve, with, and I hope, you know, I'm not going to put words in your mouth, but we've talked about this at length in multiple weeks at this point. Mm-hmm. I firmly believe that this week we end the second quarter. You said it, the 15th, we're going to start hearing numbers from JP Morgan. 2 weeks after that, we're going to hear from the Amazons, Googles, Microsofts. They always report the same week. I feel like after we get through the earnings report by the end of July, I think that there's going to be a massive rally into the second half of the year as people start to realize, like, oh shit, these 2027, 2028 numbers are dirt cheap. 2026 is in the bag. People are probably going to raise because they're not as concerned with the capex spending, etc. And so I don't know. I feel like as we get closer and closer towards the end of the year, people are going to start looking at 28 and be like, what do you mean all these companies are trading less than 20 times 2028 earnings?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I do want to address one comment.
Shoot.
So the growth company chooses CoreWeave. Yeah, I'm already in Nebius. I've been in Nebius since 80. Now I'm building a position in CoreWeave. I own both. I've been in Nebius for quite some time.
That's a good point. Midterm years always are generally pretty tough, Steve. Maybe that you think that maybe that's what it is. Or you think that people are maybe afraid that we're gonna have a blue wave, and with
I
that,
think
you're gonna have
that
an impact.
people make excuses for things, and I don't know. I think that the Republicans are gonna win one and lose one, and I think that's the best scenario for the market because it's a slow grind. The market likes predictability. Having a slow grind in lawmaking is not a bad thing. So I don't know. I don't want to get political. The gridlock is traditionally good for the markets.
Matt, how are you handling the Rocket Lab 45% pullback? Every time I go to the gym, I can't determine whether or not it's sweat coming out of my face or tears. I'm like, oh, the sauna. And people are like, oh, you're sweating really bad. I'm like, I just got in here. These are tears. But no, I made a video about it, right? I mean, I made a video knowing that I would at some point be down over $1 million on the position. Luckily, with the size of position that I have, it's still worth a significant amount of money, more money than I ever thought I would, have in it. And so, yeah, short-term issues, right? I would compare this drawdown right now with what we saw it was like May 2025 when the stock went from like $35 down to 18. I doubled down. I didn't double down, but I bought more money or bought more Rocket Lab during that time period. So I promised on Rocket Lab Weekly I'd actually look that up and determine how much that decision made me, buying more at $18 back after the May 2025 earnings report. And yeah, I mean, look, guys, as much as it would be tough to see a position pull back 45%, this was a peak, less than 6 months ago, $80 or whatever it was. So I still think that the company's growing, and I hear what Steve says. Is it above its skis or ahead of its skis? I think it could be for sure. But I just don't think that we've seen the end of the manufacturing capacity that they plan on having. So we'll see. 5-10 years, we'll see if I'm an idiot.
Well, I don't think you're an idiot, Matt.
I appreciate that, Steve.
Do not think that. Oh, let's see where we are. Oil just ticked up. We just crossed over 70. I do not like that at all. Who's the biggest winners right now? Wendigas.
Oh, Captain Sleepy Time checking in.
Captain Sleepy Time. Why don't you come on for a few minutes?
Oh, Canada. He's on his high horse because Canada won earlier. Just kidding. I don't know if he watches soccer at all or not. People just go to sleep. Yo, it's so funny.
Rocket Lab up below. Okay, ServiceNow back over 100. I like it. Oracle 150. Uber, I'm telling you, don't fade Nancy Pelosi. Do not fade Nancy. She bought a bunch of Uber after me. SpaceX up a little. I got to tell you, I'm super bullish for the rest of the year. I don't care that we're in a midterm election year. I actually think midterm elections are going to be bullish for Zeta, Meta, and Alphabet. They're going to make a ton of money off of this.
Why Alphabet? Because of advertising?
Search, yeah. Yeah. I actually think Alphabet's the biggest pure play in AI there is. If it was trading at a cheaper valuation, I'd buy more. I like Amazon, though, here.
Steve, have I ever told you about why I say ABB? People are talking about it in the chat, but
ABB?
Yeah, always be buying.
Always be buying. The same thing as always be closing from Glengarry Glen Ross.
Steven, you're quick.
Well, you think I don't know?
A, B, C. Always be closing.
You think I don't know?
AIDA. Attention. Sorry.
Great movie, by the way. A lot of people don't like that movie. It's a great movie.
I just love that scene. That scene is insane.
Coffee is for closers.
I say that at the office sometimes, and people just look at me like,
oh my God. Everybody's about to flip the hell out. They think it's Tanner right now. It's not. Holy shit.
Oh! What's up, buddy?
What's up, guys? How are you?
How's the jet lag?
It's been like 3 days. There's no more jet lag.
All right,
Jet lag should be done. This is my uncle's like I guess you could call it bachelor pad. And how do I flip the screen? Back camera. So this is the TV we watch Steve on in the morning. Or in the night, I guess we should say for us.
I love that.
Nice.
This is where we watch the epic Tanner Chris debate.
I need to watch it. You're the second person that said that. I need to watch it.
Dude, because Steve ended his show, and then my uncle, he had to wake up in the morning to go somewhere, so he went to bed. So I was left here. And then I was about to go to sleep. I clicked on Tanner, and then I see Steve and Chris on Tanner. I'm like, all right, whatever. It's like 3 a.m., and they're just fucking going at it like cat and dog. And this is actually kind of entertaining.
Like, hold on, dude, stop. Let me pause this. Let me go get some popcorn.
Yeah, it was good. It was a good conversation.
It was pretty funny.
I can't stay too long, but I did want to tell everyone the story that I texted you guys about last night.
Oh, yes. That would be awesome to hear.
Steve, did you see that message in the WhatsApp yet?
Definitely didn't.
Oh, Steve didn't see it. Okay. So
is everything
Matt's
going to
on.
zero, first and foremost?
So we came back from some show that we went out to watch. So we got in a Grab and we're driving. And it was me, my uncle, his wife, his kid, and my sister. And so me and my uncle are just talking stocks out loud. And like 20 minutes go by. And the driver, he says to my uncle, because he's in the front, he's like, can I ask you something? And my uncle's like, sure. And the guy's like, because he's hearing me and my uncle talk about stocks for the past 20 minutes. He's like, should I sell my Micron tomorrow? And I'm just like, and my uncle's like, you got to ask him. He's the finance YouTuber guy. And so I start asking some questions. I was like, so when did you buy Micron? He's like, oh, my average is $1,000.25. I was like, okay. I was like, when did you start trading stocks? I think this guy's like 70 years old, by the way. It's like, I started trading in March. I was like, okay. I was like, how did you get into trading? He's like, oh, I saw an ad for Moomoo on Instagram and I signed up. And I was okay, so how have you been trading Micron? He's like, I buy the dip, I sell the rip. I was like, okay. And I was like, so how have you been doing? He's like, I made 163% last month, but then I lost a lot of it this month because I played Broadcom earnings. And Broadcom fell from 490 to 360. So I'm listening to this shit. And then, and so my advice was just like, look, man, you never know what's going to happen. Obviously, the memory trade is starting to become more mainstream. I do think the stock is cheap at 8 times forward earnings. Obviously, the earnings were incredible. So just got to be a bit careful here because, you know, it could go back to 800 if the memory sentiment dies away? Yeah. Could it run up to 2000? Yeah, I think that's a real possibility. And then he was like, I'm thinking of quitting full time and becoming a trader. And he was dead serious. You know, he's not fucking right. He's like legit talking about it. And so to me, you know, you hear these stories of like, oh, if the taxi driver says he's trading stocks, it's a top signal. I don't know if it's a top signal. No one can know that. But it was scary hearing that in real time because it was someone who doesn't really know much about the world of investing, just got into it and is making a ton of money because everything's going up and they're just riding the trend. And they're starting to think of it as like, this is just how it is, which all of us have had that experience for. I've had that experience. I've got screwed on a bunch of different names because I just thought things would keep going up. I'm sure you guys have experienced that before. But if it's happening to him, it's probably happening to millions, maybe tens of millions of people. I mean, it's happening to the average South Korean, you know, every single day in South Korea as they're opening up new brokerages at brokerage accounts like every other day. And you just start to think like, man, how serious is this sentiment around memory in particular becoming? It's a $1.4 trillion company. Do people expect it to become a $5 trillion company? Is there a world in which you could justify Micron being a $5 trillion company? And if that does happen, how many people, at least when people aped into NVIDIA over the past couple of years, it's NVIDIA. But this is Micron. This is a supplier that historically, you know, has the boom and bust cycle. And I wonder, I don't know, I wonder how many people are just YOLOing in and just, and they might end up being right because this thing's going to go to 2000 and they're going to feel on top of the world and it's not going to be a top signal. Or is this like, no, this is getting ridiculous at this point that everyone's just deciding to make the trade. So that was the experience last night.
I'm less worried about somebody buying Micron and asking if they should get out and thinking that they can trade versus the amount of people on margin and taking out debt. I'm more concerned about that.
But see, it's a gateway drug. I don't know if the
It
guy's
is.
on margin, but like if he starts doing well and Mumu offers him free money, quote unquote free money, right?
At least it's not a
I don't
penny
know, man.
stock.
No, it's not a penny stock. It's not.
But you're right. I mean,
But
historically, when a lot of people get in that just YOLO into something and don't do the due diligence, that's usually a sign that there's too much stupid money in.
yeah, and see, I want to be careful of saying I don't think that guy is stupid or he's dumb money or anything like that. I mean, like at the end of the day, everyone has their own journey where they start becoming an investor. And you know, when we were buying Palantir at $30 before it fell to 6, we were the quote unquote dumb money that were just like, oh, Palantir, the greatest thing in the world, and we had to, you know, live through that experience. But the point is, how many people is that happening to? Because everyone should have a moment where they get into investing. And usually that moment comes with a lot of humility after a little bit of euphoria. All of us have been through it. And then you decide to ask yourself, do I want to stay in this investing thing for a while? I just wonder how many people at this point is it happening to? And is there a world in which uh, it becomes catastrophic if things really hit the fan like it did in 2021, 2022? Or because this is not 2021, I think we would all agree AI is not a bubble. Is it kind of like if they get into it, like it's gonna work. Like, you know, if you buy Micron at 1,000, 1,100, like it is going to 2,000, and that would be an appropriate multiple. And so, like, it's gonna give all this confidence to all these traders. And maybe the humbling period comes later. Maybe the humbling period doesn't have to come if Micron stays at a $5-6 trillion valuation for the next 10 years. I don't know, but it was one of those things that did like hit me. It was like, wow, this is not a joke anymore. Like this whole AI revolution thing, buy the bottlenecks, like this is affecting every single person who's getting an inkling of seeing these headlines and news articles about their neighbors getting rich. And they're like, shit, I need to get rich too, right? This is what happens in these moments of euphoria. It's just, it's hard to say this is purely euphoria because the multiples on all these stocks, as you were talking about, Steve, Microsoft, it's at a 5-year low. So
Yeah,
it is a very interesting time to be an investor.
I remember back in the early 2000s and even the late 90s, everybody that was in finance when I used to caddy, they would all talk about how same as that conversation, so many people are piling into the market, everybody thinks it's easy, and wait until we get a downturn type thing. It was definitely late 90s because Sun Microsystems was a company, they were ripping, and I don't know. I think you always have periods where people are getting in. The difference is the barriers to entry are removed. there are no barriers to entry anymore. And a lot of people just have that idea that stock market's not a game and it's now gamified. A lot of people think about it like that, unfortunately. I don't know.
It's very interesting. I mean, I still see a lot of people out there thinking that they will be the 1 in 10 that sticks around and actually is able to self-manage a lot of their money, or 20%, I guess. If you use the quote that downtown Josh Brown used last week on the Compound and Friends, he basically said it's around 20% of people that actually self-direct and actually manage their own. And I think a lot of people, they'll enter and look on YouTube and think that, yeah, I'm going to continue to do this for the rest of my life. And I think what I've seen is it run through our office, right? So you have thousands of people that I've probably chat with at our office, and you'll have a new group of people every time that there's a really good bull market. They'll reach out to me, be like, Matt, what have you been doing? Blah, 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 blah. And then a year later, I'm like, hey, how are you doing? They're like, oh, I don't really do it anymore because, I went to cash, I lost money on X, Y, and Z. And then they don't really think about getting back in until the markets turn around completely again. Right. So like, I can't tell you how many people were chatting me up in 2021, 2020, early 2022, when the market was good, to literally 6 months later be completely out and say, no, I'm never getting back into the market again. It's a crock of shit, until 2025 and everything's going good again. They're like, hey, by the way, I entered. And I'm like, well, what did you buy back in the bottom in 2023? Or they were like, no, I just, blah, blah, blah. So I think you end up being in this scenario where you have this pendulum swing. But I thought it was a very useful statistic that Josh Brown brought last week. He's like, I forget what it was. It was like 20 years ago. He thought that with all the availability of people and the gamification and everything like that, you'd have a much lower barrier to entry. So therefore, self-directedness and people buying stocks, etc., as retail investors would be much higher. And apparently the statistic is that it's still only 20%, which I thought was pretty interesting. It's always remained around 20%.
Because it's all based on price. Like if Micron was a $100 stock right now, that cab driver would not even be thinking of asking that question. But because he probably saw it go from 300 to 400 to 500 to 600 to 700 to 800 to 900 to 1,000, he's like, oh, I should buy in. And if we got a bear market, like when we all went through the Palantir drawdown, it proved who was a real investor, who wanted to invest, who wanted to learn about the company. If Micron got split in half tomorrow, I wonder how many people would stick around. Now, the earnings multiple would look really attractive if it was like a $500 stock.
Have you seen how much 2028 earnings have gone up?
Yeah. Dude, it's cheap. So at the meetup, there were a few people that had Micron. A couple of them had 7-figure positions, and they bought in at 300-400. And so the biggest question at the meetup was like a lot of people asking, is this shit over? Is memory going to go? Like a lot of people were asking that question. And kind of I don't think the trade's over, but man, the alpha, the hidden alpha of the trade is gone. Everyone knows that memory is the thing now.
Look at this, was $80 2 weeks ago. $80. They basically doubled the 2028 earnings estimate on the consensus estimates, and they pushed out the falling rate a year.
The only concern with their quarter is they did this not because of increased volume expectations, but because of inflation, right? Because they can increase prices.
Yep.
And yeah, that's the scary part, because what if they can't sustain those price increases? Now, I think the article that's been going viral over the weekend about Apple forcing or lobbying the US government to use Chinese suppliers, it does seem like that's not going to be a big deal, because the Chinese companies themselves have so much demand for memory. And CXMT can't exactly create the specifications of custom HBM that a lot of the data center companies or data center leases need. And even if they did, like, we're still in a shortage. So like every way I think of it logically is Micron's going higher, memory's going higher.
Oh my God. I gotta cut you off. Okay. We have very big news that just came out. So before I go over this news, Amit, you saw what happened with Taiwan Semi, correct?
No, what happened with Taiwan Semi?
All right, so Taiwan Semi, they're teaming up with Winbond to build more local DRAM supply chain for AI. and they're going to work on next generation wafer on wafer. Wimbon will supply DRAM wafers. Taiwan Semi will stack them with logic wafers for AI chips. The new news, and oh my God, there's two pieces. I can't believe I'm going to say this. We may be thinking too small. Samsung and SK Group are reportedly set to announce up to $1.3 trillion over 10 years being invested.
That's not new news, Steve, but
That's new news to me.
that came out on Friday. But yes, they're going to put out a lot of money to support the
That's
South
new
Korean
news to me.
infrastructure. Yeah, but this makes sense, right? Samsung and SK Hynix should be doing this because they need to prove it's not just a commodity, and like they need to invest in all these other different avenues to build up the thesis for why they deserve to become multi-trillion-dollar companies. So they should be investing. It makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, on Friday we knew that. I mean, I didn't see this number on Friday. 1.3 trillion over 10 years.
But see, you could also interpret it as bearish, as like those companies know that their 15 minutes of fame is going to be up eventually. Maybe it's 5 years from now.
You don't spend
but-
$1.3 trillion over 10 years if this is slowing down in the next 5.
No, but if your prices are slowing down, then you better have alternatives, right? Like it's not about memory volume slowing down. It's just supply coming up, which takes the prices down. But again, even with that being said, the 4 Ps are still so discounted. So every time I bring up a little bit of a bear case, and this is what we think at the meetup, like people would bring up a bear case, but then people would counter it with a bull case. And even, you would have to come to the conclusion that like, yeah, memory still has to go higher. The trade has to keep going. It's just everyone knows about the trade now. So at what point do people just say, well, there's no alpha anymore because the bears have capitulated, which I think most have. I mean, no one's actively shorting.
What if the earnings gets pushed out? Is this really going to just trade at 5 to 8 times forward? Or at some point, do people have to say, you know what? This is an integral part of society. Computer chips are almost as important as oil. And these companies should trade 15 to 20 times forward because they're real companies and there's real earnings power.
I guess here's the question. Do any of you feel comfortable with Micron if it did get the type of multiple you're talking about, Steve? It would basically be worth as much as Amazon, if not slightly above that. Do you feel comfortable in Micron being 2.5 trillion and Amazon being 2.5 trillion?
Yeah, because the profitability is there. If they lose the profitability, they should go down hard. But if the profitability is there, it's hard to say they don't deserve it. That's the
but you buy Amazon because you believe long term they will have profitability and growth. So you think at 2.5 trillion, it'll eventually go to hopefully 5 trillion.
Yeah.
If Micron's 2.5 trillion right now, let's say they consistently have this profitability you're talking about, do you still think it's deserves to be 2.5 trillion?
Yeah, because
in the back of your head, in the back of a lot of people's head, they're like, well, I don't know if it's going to continue,
But here's why it could continue. And once again, what could go right? Bill Gurley. Okay. Well, we don't even have humanoid robots yet. Full self-driving is really not here yet. Full scale. How much more memory do we need for that type of stuff in addition to data centers, in addition to the new computers? Like, we're going to need more of everything. How much is AI going to expand over the next 5 years? All I'm saying is these companies, in addition to the CapEx from the hyperscalers, these companies are not spending Taiwan Semi, Micron, Samsung, SK. They're not spending this money on CapEx because this is some supply chain that's going to stop in 5 years. That's the big thing. Like they're the ones that have the visibility. They're the ones making the product. If the profitability wasn't there for them to monetize this, they would just buy back their stock and not spend on this.
So I guess the question then is, why does Micron still trade at 8 times?
People still have it in their heads it's a cyclical business. But we've never had this type of cycle before.
So I guess, what do you think changes? Like, when does it get at 2025?
It may not change. It may never. Because Micron's not a young company. Micron's been a public company for a long time. And it's ingrained in people's minds that because we've seen the DRAM boom bust in the past, that has to happen again. Maybe it doesn't have to happen. I don't know they can shake that, but we are going to need so much more memory that maybe this gets pushed out a very long time.
So there's a popular analyst called Jukon on X. He's from South Korea, and his post last night was kind of crazy reading it. But he basically said inference is memory now, and inference is now directly tied to memory, but inference does not get better simply by adding more NVIDIA GPUs. In fact, GPUs are often underutilized in inference because memory is the bottleneck. Ultimately, the ROI of inference depends less on GPUs and more on memory. So why are people still looking at Micron through NVIDIA's framework? Think bigger. Inference is memory, implying to an extent Micron is more important than NVIDIA when we talk about inference, and that Micron definitely should be worth not maybe more than NVIDIA, but way more than it is worth today. And that would imply, 2.5, 3 trillion on an appropriate multiple.
And then, I mean, you're a believer in the AI revolution. What happens when we get AGI and superintelligence?
So my uncle, I think his strategy that he pitched last night, I think is the best way to make money off Micron, at least short term. What about just selling puts?
I don't hate that.
Like, what about just selling puts at $800, $900? Now, if it collapses to 500, it's like, okay, but like that shouldn't happen, right? So it's like, if it goes to 800, 900, you should be really happy. Then the 4P is like 3 times 2028 if it goes to 800 or something.
Go out
Maybe that's the way to.
I've been selling at 7. I forget what I did. I closed at like 750 or something last week, and I rolled it. Where am I at? What are my puts at? It's only a couple $100, but I mean, still
making money off of it without taking the risk of owning the shares, right?
I have the July 10 800s, which is already up 50%.
This is crazy. Let me make sure that this is okay. So puts going out a month, you could sell the 500.
And still get some premium, dude. And if it goes to 500, it's a screaming buy. I think all of us would say, right?
I mean, you could sell the 800 and make, $2,000 a contract.
You do need a lot of money to sell puts, though, because you need like $100,000 or whatever.
Yeah, you can make 2.25% a month on your money at that point.
Yeah, I don't. It's interesting, man, because the multiple's so cheap, it's so relevant, but everyone at this point knows the story. Like, what happened to NVIDIA once everyone discovered it? It's been flat for 8 months, right? So it's like, but NVIDIA is not Micron in regards to being a bottleneck or having the pricing power. I think Micron is, literally Micron is more pricing power than NVIDIA, which is crazy.
Even though everybody knows the story, a lot of people knew the story 5 months ago. The numbers have changed going forward significantly, and they could continue to change.
So are we buying Micron here at 1,100? Because Steve, you sold it literally. Now your logic was you sold it because you made 40% in a month, which no one can defeat that logic.
Yeah.
But like, fuck, dude, it's almost like that wasn't. That's not enough of a reason to sell in this market, right?
I would have done better holding Micron and not trading it for Broadcom.
But see, okay, so let's analyze that. You traded for Broadcom because you thought Broadcom's a better business. Broadcom's definitely not cheaper than Micron. And one could argue it's not as important as Micron when it comes to the bottleneck. But you made a logical decision of like, hey, this is a company that's way more diversified than just memory.
So my thought process was subsidize the Broadcom purchase by 42% with the Micron earnings. I thought TPUs were going to become very big and they would become more important. And when I looked at the forward growth on Broadcom, it was so much more than NVIDIA that I thought it would have an easier time running.
Right.
I mean, let's look at Micron versus
It's funny because the TPUs need memory.
right.
It's like it's kind of crazy because I'm trying to think about it from first principles as well, and I'm trying to think about like if we were in a village and there's one guy making the apples or farming the apples, and all the village people need the apples, and there's only one farmer that has all the apples. Like that guy's gonna be able to charge more. And when you think of it from that perspective, it's like that's exactly what's happening with Micron, SK Hynix, and Samsung, just on a global scale for a very big tech revolution. And that's why it's worth $1 trillion.
So because this number now, I thought that the forward EPS number was incorrect. I didn't think it was incorrect by this much, double. Okay. The fact that the street took the 2028 earnings up to 163, Micron's forward growth is now exactly the same as Broadcom's on EPS.
Really?
Yeah. Over the next 2 years, 124%.
Okay, so when you look at it from that perspective, even though Micron's cheaper, I think the safer play is Broadcom because way bigger than Micron.
Yeah, my thing was Google had just signed a multi-generational deal that I think is 6 to 8 years. You have a lot of multi-generational deals with Broadcom, and I thought Broadcom's earnings were so damn good that the sell-off was crazy.
Do you guys know what's going public tomorrow?
I do not.
Correct me in the chat if I'm wrong, but I believe this is. Let me get the exact date.
Is the robotics company?
Yep.
Agile, whatever it is.
Agility.
Agility.
Yep. So I don't know if they're going tomorrow, but it's definitely this week. The stock's up like 20% overnight because there's a couple big Twitter accounts
again.
That they were buying. Yeah. Now CCXI is the SPAC name. So the SPACs are back. Number one, the SPACs are back. Number two, I texted my humanoid robot group chat of like, yo, is this agility thing legit? And they said absolutely not. They said it can probably pump because it's going to be the only pure play humanoid robotics play. But if you look at the SEC filing, it's a $2.5 billion valuation. They say they have 300 million of expected orders, but if you read the fine print, it's like, quote, potential multi-year value expected to be realized over time, subject to the realization of certain contractual milestones. So I hit up Chris Camillo. I'm like, bro, 300 million. Like, what do you think? He's like, there is no humanoid robot company on the planet that has $300 million of actual deliverable expected orders that they can ship anytime soon. He's like, it's like none of these companies can deliver $300 million of humanoid robots that can go into a factory and start working. So it's definitely a pump, but at $2.5 billion, it's essentially a small cap, and there's a ton of interest of people wanting to proxy figure an Eptronic with something, and I think this might end up being that something. But it's a SPAC, and also, some people in the group are saying they failed to raise their last round of private financing, which is why they're doing the SPAC. Because with all the hype around humanoid robots, you should be able to IPO easily. Like easily, you should be able to make an IPO, even if it's a small IPO. So doing it through a SPAC means you need PIPE financing and all these different financial engineering mechanisms to get the $625 million they're trying to raise into the company. And that does remind me of 2021 when companies really couldn't raise easily, so they have to go to the public markets. But it's a thematic that is, as you said, dude, we're going to need all this memory for robots. I mean, people will be like, all right, if we need memory for robots, we should buy Micron, but we need to buy the companies that build the robots. And this is the only one that's public. It's like feeling uncomfortable in a lot of ways, but when you look at Microsoft and Nvidia and Amazon, you see the multiples, they're so depressed. You can't say it's a bubble, because those companies which actually control the global markets would have to be trading at minimum 50% where they are right now to even think it could be a double. Oh, this guy's here.
We're nowhere near a bubble.
What's up, buddy?
The chat just got, or the stream just got way better looking.
Don't use my line. That line's reserved for Erwin, all right?
I mean,
yeah. Erwin's the greatest looking of the bunch for sure.
I wonder if my uncle is watching us in the set. So funny.
Uncle's owning you in real time.
Uncle's like, this motherfucker woke up, because it's Monday morning for us in Singapore, So he's dedicated. But let me tell you guys, he's dedicated to watching us. So he gets home at night at like 9 p.m. 8:45 the market open. From 8:45 to 11:30, he's with me. Then he's with Steve from 11:30 to 1. Then he's with Tanner from 1 to. By the way, this is 2 a.m. his time. I think was when Tanner ends the stream, and then
Oh
he
my
goes
God.
to bed. Now he has a decent chunk of money that he's also tracking in the market, so that's also why he stays up. But like he's with us the whole day, and so on Sundays he sometimes wakes up at 6 a.m. Monday morning to watch the Sunday's Future show that I'm doing at 8 p.m. at night on Sunday to keep up with the overnight markets, which is barely even liquid because he wants to see what's happening until 8:45 at night when the market's open. So like the people in Singapore, I have so much respect for how they keep up with the markets, but their way to wind down the day, like some people at the meetup, it's like our way to wind down the day is to watch the market open. And for all of us, it's like, we're getting started with our
The
day.
most hectic part.
The most hectic
High
part.
energy.
Yeah, that's crazy. Anyway, Tanner, I saw your debate with Chris. It was really good entertainment at 3 a.m. My time. And I thought it was a productive debate. I thought it was a really good. I thought you brought up a lot of good points. I thought Chris brought up a lot of good points. I'm a bit biased towards your side because I'm more bullish. But I do think Chris's argument that, like, are we really going to let Micron become a $3-4 trillion company and match NVIDIA's market cap is fair. But then when you look at the numbers, you're like, yeah, why can't it? Like, really, why can't it be? So I don't know. I think the trade keeps going.
Yeah, I'm also not calling for, like, I think some people look at it and they go, oh, it's 8x. Is it really going to 8x again? And I'm never suggesting that, Can this company continue to outperform the S&P 500? Can we see a 20% year? That would, make me want to continue the trade. I don't think it's the top, but yeah, I'm not a good debater at all. And I love Chris a ton, and so hopefully people really enjoyed it. But I've got a ton of feedback since then. A ton.
Yeah, there were some easy moments where you could like have pushed back, and I was like, Tanner, say this, but it was good. It was
I
fun.
had people like Jose reached out to me. He's like, "Let me in, let me." And but honestly, I'm not a good debater. I've got my own feelings about the company, but I'm happy that we talked about where he believes that Micron is going to be and where Nvidia is going to be, and then we'll let the stock price decide who's the real winner.
Yeah, I mean, I get his argument of buying puts. Chris has been saying that for years, and like obviously as a hedge, it makes sense. But I don't know, man. It obviously feels like if Micron is this high in demand, Nvidia's going to get pulled up, Broadcom's going to get pulled, the whole market's going to get pulled up with it. But then you hear the cab driver saying, "Should I buy Micron?" So it's like it's such a weird time. The good thing is for people who bought these stocks much lower, you don't have to sell because even if they fell 20%, 30%, which would be a pretty ugly drawdown, and you really wanted to get liquid, like you could, and you would still be up a lot. But for the people that want to buy stocks here, it's a deeper question. Like if you have no position in Nvidia at 190, is the risk to reward really as exciting? And it's like it's obviously it should be. Like it should be very exciting. But the past 8 months have been pretty ugly. And it's like, what if the next 8 months are also really ugly? Or what if Micron doubles in the same time? And there's a lot of questions about this market right now.
Yeah, Micron's been trading at a low PE for a while now, which is pretty crazy. And earnings have just sort of let it continue to go up because it's sort of been in this almost 5 to, let's say, 10 PE ratio range. And it's climbed up so much, and that goes to show you the earnings power that we're seeing right now. It's just whether or not it's going to be sustained through 2028. And I completely agree. I mean, that's up for debate. But I don't know. I see more AI use, and obviously I'm not looking to sell my shares here, or maybe I need some puts, but that wasn't really what I was there to talk about. It got a little sidetracked.
Did you actually think Micron had 1.4 trillion of commitments?
I read it wrong. So whenever I was going through and looking at essentially the way that I was listening to it was Jukan, you brought up him as well. I think it was actually his post or semi-analysis post or something like this where it talked about 45% or maybe even 48% of total CapEx spend was going towards memory next year.
I could understand how you would interpret that then, yeah.
And then I'm like, okay, well, how is it only $100 billion if it's... But I think it's about 50% of their revenue is actually what's locked in long-term agreements. The
Right.
rest is still going to be variable.
I think
But-
here's the biggest question for all of us. If the market will keep punishing the hyperscalers for spending CapEx, do you want to be let's say it happens for the next 2 years. The hyperscalers are going to just like every last penny they get in free cash flow, net income goes to CapEx. For the next 2 years, do you want to buy the CapEx beneficiaries, Lam Research, SanDisk, Micron, etc.? Or do you want to just suffer for 2 years and buy Amazon, Meta, Microsoft at these depressed prices, and then know in 2 years they are going to absolutely explode? Like if you had to pick one strategy, obviously you could do both, but there's limited capital, right? Like how would you approach it if that's how it plays out?
Yeah, I'm not
I
sure.
feel like it would. I feel like it would be the Max 7 for me because I like you just don't know when the music stops for the CapEx beneficiaries. But the 2 years is a long time, and seeing Micron do another triple from here, or ASML do another double, and KLAC do another quadruple from here, that's hard owning Amazon and just telling yourself, well, it's Amazon, but it's like
Yeah,
Amazon is funding the profit. You know, it's like it is tough to be stuck in the flat, amazing companies, knowing that their money being spent is the only reason the other ones are running as much as they're running.
I'd rather suffer because I'm not worried about Amazon or Microsoft going away. And I know that the chances of their profitability, cash from operations expanding is very likely because we have more than a decade of history on it. And they're going to be the most important companies in 5 years from now, just like they are today. I know that I'm not good enough to say when the music stops. I'd rather suffer in them. Amazon has underperformed the S&P for 5 years. At some point, Amazon's going to have its day in the sun. And I'd rather just keep acquiring Amazon. Not saying I won't buy a little bit here and there of other stuff, but the majority, I'm not looking to take big chances on stuff that I'm going to have to get out of and mistime it.
But you're gonna miss out on a lot of alpha, bro. Which is
It's okay.
something you say it's okay, bro, but it's not fun. Like not being in Micron this year has not been fun, like at all. You know, like
Sometimes
It-
investing is not supposed to be fun.
no, in a bull market, it's on the Compound and Friends, Ryan Dietrich was on, and he had this great quote. He was like, "No one's having fun in this bull market." You know, or not no one, but like if you're not in the names that have done that, like last year was really fun for me with Palantir and Hood. This year's not as fun, and it's like maybe that's the yin and yang of the market. But it's like if I saw the memory bottleneck this year would also be really fun, and it's if you're in crypto this year is not fun. So there is a point that like yes, investing doesn't always have to be fun, but a bull market should be fun, and it's only been selectively fun this year.
Think about what happens when it turns. You have basically all-time highs with a lot of companies not participating that got the market arguably to where it used to be. Microsoft's in a bear market, Meta's in a bear market, Nvidia is 17, 18% off its highs, Alphabet's off its highs, Broadcom off its highs, all of SaaS is destroyed. What happens when tech actually turns?
Yeah, I mean, like that. I think that makes sense, and that should easily get the S&P up there to 8,000 when that does happen. But I don't know, man. It's been a weird year in a lot of different ways. I know you guys were talking about Rocket Lab. It's up 11% this year. 150 to 80, ugly 50% drawdown. But like, it was fun for a bit until it didn't become fun. And it's like, what if that happens to a lot of different names that are out there? Now, if you're super long term like Matt, you bought your shares at 4 or 5, you probably don't care because it's like this is just part of your journey. But for all the people that bought it at fucking 130, 140, it reminds me of Hood, right? People bought it at 130, 140, and they had to suffer seeing it go down 50%. Hood, it took a couple months. Rocket Lab, it took a couple weeks. But SpaceX, people, I met someone who bought a lot of SpaceX in the 200s. I would say, it's weird, bro. And all that money went to Micron.
It depends what your time frame is with SpaceX.
I'm getting absolutely roasted in Steve's chat. It's hysterical. I just I can't. I just can't. I wish.
Amit,
Dude, Matt, Go ahead, Tanner.
I was just going to say about the hood numbers that you or they posted 2 different June color numbers. Did you see that?
Yeah, the June was like their best month ever, right? Month today.
Yeah, but they updated on June 18th, and then they came out again on June 26th and updated it again,
Yeah, I saw that.
accelerating even more. And it's just wild how good of a month that they're going to have, practically without
again,
crypto.
I'm not excited for it because this is just World Cup momentum, right? And like it's gonna die out in Q3.
But what
Unless
part
they
of
can-
World Cup momentum is leading them to have highest options contracts traded? And
Oh, that stuff is cool. That stuff's fine. I don't know if that's going to continue either. But the World Cup stuff is the like 5.2 billion contracts was like the real. Because again, I keep thinking of it as they need to beat last year's numbers, and so if they better be having the freaking best month they've ever had, because if they don't, how are they going to beat last year, which was the best year they had last year, right?
Yeah.
So to me, I'm like, I kind of expected, like if they didn't, it would be like, okay, they definitely don't have a chance in hell to beat their numbers. But the World Cup stuff should take them over the top. It's just like, that's not going to be. I just have so much PTSD from seeing Hood get to 150, all the analysts being like, yup, it's good. And then as soon as the market cools off a little bit, the earnings cools off, and then Hood collapses. And so if it comes back a little bit, like maybe it changes its tune. But then if it levels off a little bit, which could happen, it'll just get right back into purgatory. And so it's not Vlad's fault. He's executing. He's doing it's just this market has not been consistent.
yeah.
Like even in the most bullish months before Q2, Hood wasn't doing anything either.
What do you think the new event is going to be about?
In the UK, I think it's a crypto event, if I'm not wrong.
The world is flat?
Yeah, it's a crypto event. They told us it was a crypto event in the UK. The Houston event, I don't know what that's going to be in September, but I think it's probably updates on tokenization.
There's gonna be some in September. I need to get invited to that.
You should
Yeah,
actually,
yeah.
Matt. You should. I can. Me and Tanner could definitely email some people to get you there if you want.
I just want to stroke Vlad's hair.
Who knows what form it'll be at whenever it comes September. He
Yeah,
changes
who
his
knows
hair
what
at
form.
every single event. Every time he's, on camera, it's a new hairstyle.
That's part of the allure.
I was gonna say, Matt, the SpaceX short is fucking crushing in the draft right now.
I just wish I did the same with my own portfolio and shorted Rocket Lab. Bought those puts.
No,
that
you
Hot
can't. You
Biscuit
can't
was
short
in.
Rocket Lab, bro. You're the Rocket Lab guy. You can't short it.
I did close out a lot of my covered calls though for pennies on the dollar.
Covered calls are okay, but shorting it is like unethical, or at least that's how it would be interpreted. I'm not saying
I would view it as unethical as well.
We're 1 week in. How are you guys feeling about your portfolios in the stock draft?
I don't
I'm
want to
getting-
talk too highly because I was leading for the majority of last year and I ended up in third. So I don't want to boast too early.
The SpaceX
Okay,
short
well,
was
I'm-
genius so far. Oh my god.
I'm getting destroyed. Google and Nvidia wrecked. Apple decides to do this stupid fucking memory inflation, wrecked. Rocket Lab, I thought I was being cute taking that there. That's wrecked. That's gonna have to take some time to recover. Bloom Energy got rebalanced out of the Russell 2000. That's what really wrecked. I actually think Bloom is looking. I know it's still expensive, but every time it
Does
bounces
not
around
have a
this,
single green company.
not a single green company. Memory trade being in question is hurting SanDisk. GEV and Fix, I think they'll be fine as long as that I think plays out. Reddit, that'll be fine. Galaxy, they actually had some really good updates over the weekend, but the Neo Clouds, I mean, dude, Nebius was at freaking 230 on Friday. Like all of those names, CoreWeave back below 100. So it's like we're all red, and Matt's like the least red out of all of us. But I wonder by the end of the summer, because if the AI trade falters out, I'm going to be down like 20-30%. Like there's no way.
Tanner,
I'm
if there was ever a
but-
time to steal Nvidia, now's the time.
Oh yeah,
You wanna
Tanner, what
trade?
do you want for Nvidia, bro?
Dude,
What
let's
are you
talk.
gonna give
Pull
me?
up my portfolio.
Tanner's got some green positions.
Yeah, but see, I can't take Rubrik or Melly or SMCI or Visa for Nvidia.
Take
It's just-
Palantir.
Question is, does Palantir outperform from Nvidia?
From
at these
here, it
levels?
may.
No, but do I get Palantir down 11%?
You get it whatever price it's at today.
Yeah. Whatever
Tanner,
today
would you
he
do the
goes
trade or
there.
no? Tanner probably took Palantir waiting for this moment, waiting for
Tanner's like, my game plan is coming through.
my game, and then he'll get SoFi from that somehow. He'll figure it out.
Yeah, I mean, Palantir's down even more, so I'm locking in some losses here, I think. So like,
You could
I don't know,
deal
I'd have to
good.
think on it. You could also like tomorrow, I think I'll be live 50, 100 gifted, something like that might change my mind, but like we'll have to think about it.
I want to give this a couple months to play out. I feel like 1 week is way too early to decide the trajectory of this. Like last
I
year,
agree.
we saw what happened. Like Chris was in last place for the majority of last, and just things happen after you give it a few months. But I wonder if AI hits a little bit of a bear market by the end of the summer, kind of this midterm year correction stuff, and how bad it gets at that point. And if it does get that bad, does Tanner outperform? Because he does have some software names here. Like, does it rotate into software or do the software names just slump with everything else?
I was
Actually,
really,
if that happens, Steve should be number one if that does happen, because
Yeah.
he's got the least AI out of all of us.
yeah, I also wonder how that SpaceX short continues to fare if we end up seeing like a, really, really big hit on like these super high beta names. If the AI trade sort of continues to falter, Matt could continue to lead, but Steve will come back very quickly.
I gotta tell you, I think my portfolio is gonna be so solid for this year. Don't sleep. Zeta could return 200%. Don't sleep.
Dude, I bought more Zeta after the Palantir deal.
Don't.
I
Did
bought
you
more.
watch the video Nick and I shot?
I didn't get to watch it yet. I saw you did it. I didn't get to watch it yet. But I don't know, man. I just like, again, I like the valuation here. And then if they're
100
really going
mil
to do some,
revenue a year for 7 years minimum.
but I also think that their ability to access a lot of Palantir's customer base
You can't
I
say
mean,
is what's
minimum.
important.
None of it's locked in.
Yeah, I mean, the 100 million to me is just a fluff number. They just threw it out there. But to me, if Zeta can get into Tampa General Hospital, into AT&T and United, and like
Mhm.
really work with some of those customers and show them an ROI, like that Palantir partnership actually should be more substantial.
Amit, let me ask you this because I didn't have an answer for Nick. Do you think Palantir would ever consider acquiring Zeta?
No. Palantir doesn't acquire companies, dude. That's not their brand. They don't. The last like acquisition they made was in 2016, and it was like a very
Yeah.
small company. They build stuff. And marketing intelligence, Palantir's not in the business of getting you an ROI on ad dollars. They're in the business of like really changing your enterprise. But you still need to market. You still need to spend ad dollars, and they can hypercharge Zeta's ability to do that. I think it makes sense.
And I actually I've got a ton of Palantir questions as I've been trying to learn about this company more and more. What are they doing with all this cash? Like I remember back in the day, they were like buying gold and all this. Are they still doing any of that? Are they still messing around?
So they have $7.5 billion. From my understanding, it's all in treasuries, and it's a nice little boost on EPS every quarter. The thing is, what a lot of people want them to do is take the cash and spend it on sales.
Yeah.
But I don't think that makes sense because that would hurt their margins, number one. Number two is like they're growing 85%. Like, do they really need to spend? This was actually a question on the last earnings call. This actually pissed off a couple of people that I know that are super big Palantir guys. They were just like this whole like Carp's like, we have so much demand, we don't know what to do with it. And now people are just like, okay, well, you have all this cash. Like, if you have all this demand, go do something with the cash and capture the demand. And so there are people saying they should be spent, but that ruins their rule of 40 because that cash will end up hurting the margins. And then two, like, yeah, they're growing at 85%. Do they really need to grow at 95% by spending another $1 billion on sales? Like, technically that makes sense, but that's also not really how Palantir does stuff. So it's a good question. It's
But will
nice
they buy back
treasury
stock
income.
then? Will they do
They
something
can't.
that will
They can't. So when Trump said defense contractors need to stop buying back stock, they filed an 8K back in January and they canceled their $1 billion. I think they only spent like $200 million out of the $1 billion they allocated. I don't know what they're going to do. I agree with you. They need to do something. I would like them to invest it in companies that are very promising for the future. Like, I wish they had a massive Anduril stake right now. Like, I wish they put $1 billion into the last Anduril funding round, because we know Anduril is going to go public. Anduril is worth $60 billion. Anduril has got to be going public at around that $200 billion range in a couple of years because they're just growing like crazy.
That's what Nvidia did, right? They gave companies tech that they knew was so superior to their competitors, and then they bet on those businesses to win, and then they won. Palantir, can you not invest in the customers that you have that you know has superior technology and say, okay, these companies are likely to do better because they use Palantir?
It depends because, like, so Wendy's uses Palantir, but is Wendy's a good investment?
Well, fair.
I mean,
You know?
trades at a low multiple.
But like, I
Profitability's
don't know.
there.
Yeah, but as a shareholder, I don't know if I want Palantir putting money into Wendy. You know, so it's like, and
Agreed.
I definitely don't want them buying Bitcoin. I don't want them buying gold. I really would just want them to spend it on growing sales, but I don't want them to lose their margin profiles. I mean, they have less than 4,000
You know what? At this
employees. You know?
valuation, I don't know that I hate the idea of buybacks there.
No, but
You're
they
not
can't,
listening.
Steve. They literally can't. Yeah, you're. Steve, do you just read the chat while your guests are creating content for you on your channel? Like, do you just?
No,
like,
I'm
not
just
listen to
saying. I
us?
get they're a defense contractor, but I'm just saying that I wouldn't hate the idea. At some point,
Breaking
that's
the
going to
law.
get lifted.
They literally can't, bro. Trump is not allowing them to.
At
When-
some
but
point,
they're-
that will get lifted.
Yeah, that'll have to get lifted eventually. You can't allow a company to continuously grow their shares outstanding forever.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good question though, Tanner. They have a lot of cash.
Or something to at least
Gotcha.
buy back enough stock just to keep the shares outstanding flat, or something like this.
Yes, yeah, exactly. I don't
And
know.
they
I
can't
think
even do that.
The 0.86 fib level is 85. That's what people are signaling as like the lowest that it probably hits this drawdown. The rebound it got on Friday was nice, but I think all of software got a rebound. Like, it's just so confusing to try to track the rotations. Like, ServiceNow got 7%, but it's down from 140. It got to $89 last week. You know, it's like yeah, it should get a sympathy bounce. What, ServiceNow is going to go to 75? Palantir's going to go really to 100 after going down 2% every day for the past 2 weeks. So I don't know.
I was also looking at customer growth and these sort of things, the amount of deals that have been signed. Well, it's been good. It's definitely been slowing. Is this concerning at all that revenue is growing way faster than the amount of customers that they're bringing on the platform?
Really, I mean, I think the types of deals they're signing are so strong and so like heavily rooted in like real transformational 5-10 year agreements.
Hmm.
So like the level of revenue they're bringing in on these deals makes up for the lack of customers. But again,
And
I think
the revenue retention is skyrocketing.
100%. And I also think that I don't think it's because of demand. Again, I think that if they have a quarter where they don't sign as many customers, 2 years ago you could have been like, oh, you know, maybe people aren't feeling it. Now it's just like they have way too many deals to close that they might just not have been able in 3 months to be able to get that one deal to officially become a real customer. So
Are you cherry picking data right now, Steve?
No, you guys are talking about the deal counts. These are the deal counts over $1 million.
Of 2 quarters, but yeah.
Well, yeah, it's Q1 year over year.
Yeah.
Just did 206 deals of over.
No,
$1
I'm just
million.
saying they did more deals last quarter, and they did way more deals the quarter before. And so year over year, come September or whatever, that like Q3 will be hard, in my opinion, to show real growth there.
well, see, that's the issue.
But it
It's
doesn't
still
matter.
300
Like, it's a KPI. It's not their actual numbers, but
No, but to your point, if there's certain metrics that are lagging, it's still worth 270 billion. Like,
Wait,
that's the issue.
hold
with
on,
Palantir.
hold on. Tanner, you said they did way more deals last quarter.
in Q3 definitely.
You're wrong.
Okay.
So this was the biggest quarter for deals they've done. For deals over $1 million.
Yeah, maybe for deals over $1 million, but I'm
Q3
talking about
was
all of them.
204 deals. Last quarter was 180, 157 in Q2.
I was thinking he's talking about deals in total, not just
Yeah.
Deals
Yeah.
in total, okay.
And also the deals signed that are over $1 million is the least important.
No. No.
The
Not
10
when
mil-
their net dollar retention is 150%. Those large scale deals become huge amounts of revenue in the future.
No, I get it. I'm just saying 5 million and 10 million are 5x and 10x larger.
No, I get that, but those are part of the deals over $1 million. Those are included in there.
No, they're not.
Yes,
What
they
are you talking
are.
about?
What are you
Deals
talking about?
over
So
$1 million. Deals over 5 million.
Hold on. If they
is
sign a $5 million
72.
contract, if they sign a $5 million contract, that counts as a deal over $1 million and a deal over 5 million.
That's my interpretation of it. Why wouldn't it? Deals over $1 million, 206, and then of that cohort, you have 72 of them were over 5 million and 47 were over 10 million. It has to, because their customer counts 1,000 customers.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right.
has
That
to.
makes sense.
Well,
That's fair.
yeah, deals over 1,000, but they only grew total customers by, what is it, 53 customers quarter over quarter?
Yeah, just a little more. They went from 954 to 1,007.
Yeah, how does that make sense? If they signed 206, total customers grew by 57, is that customers that are
Because-
growing into them?
Because a lot of those deals are probably still from current customers signing up for AIP or something else.
Okay,
Just, it doesn't have to be a new customer to be a new deal.
got you.
That's the also exciting thing, dude. It's only 1,000 customers. Like it'll
Right.
be 5,000 one day. I think, and with
Sorry,
this
I'm
margin
really new to
profile.
this name. I'm just trying to learn it.
That would be the one reason that you actually somewhat kind of have to agree with spending a little bit more on sales, only because there's just so many small, middle-sized companies that would benefit from Palantir.
Dude, some
It
people
is
in
funny.
chat are legit so funny.
The chat's amazing.
I don't know if this is racist, and I'm not trying to come off that way at all, but someone called him Mick Currybury, and that is beyond funny.
Oh my gosh.
Curry Burry.
Dude, the food in Singapore, the curry is great here. It's great. We went to this Thai place. Oh my gosh, bro. It's like a Michelin star. It's great food.
Is Arthur staying out of trouble?
Yeah. He just left yesterday, but he was awesome. It was fun, dude. It was really fun meetup. A lot of people here. They're just, they're just like all of us in the States. They just want to invest and help their families and provide, and everyone just cares about getting to the next level, and they use all of our market content as a way to help them navigate. So
Tanner, did you start
It's fun.
position in Palantir?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Tanner,
think
do
it's a
you,
good
do, you, do you think you could do you think this could become like a real big part of your portfolio? Like, are you contemplating it from that angle?
Yeah, definitely. I just want to if only there was a weekly show that I could go listen to understand this company over multiple years. Or if they put on presentations over long periods of time that I could learn about their customers. But it's just about finding the time and going through a lot of that information. I find that this is a company that is not easily researched as some of the other ones are, but I'm getting through it and trying to understand the growth and whether or not this will be sustainable. And but yeah, I like it right now, and I love the pullback and their expectation of growth, and I really like management. Yeah. What do you want to know? Any Palantir questions you have, I can answer.
Well, dude, there's literally whenever I need to know about SoFi, I know you've got some content, but there's 4 years between me, Matt, Arnie, Steve, just so much shit for you to
Yeah.
dive into. So
Yeah.
I've used it in the past, so I'm not nearly as much of a user as I used to be. And it's moved on substantially. And but if you ever need some thoughts around it, I have my personal use cases as well.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
I likely can't talk about much on the interwebs anymore.
Yeah. I also know, like, I'm pretty sure Amir was covering that company like every single week, probably still is, and he's a big numbers guy and probably has every spreadsheet under the book for me as well. So, yeah,
It's right up your alley with the way the earnings growth is expected to be. Huge margins.
For those asking about my experience with Grab, experience has been great. Product experience has been great. Kind of what I expected to get. I mean, food delivery super fast, traveling super fast. I've talked to a bunch of people at the meetup as well. There was actually one guy who worked at Grab, who was there. And again, the fundamental problem here that I've concluded is that this company does not have an AI narrative. And they don't have operating leverage. I mean, when Micron's doing 86% margins and Grab is doing like 10, the money's just not going to flow into a name like this in this type of revolution that we're seeing right now. I still think it's too cheap. I think when you look at the chart, it actually really reminds me of Rocket Lab from 2021 to 2024, stuck at $3 to $4. This one's 2022 to 2026, so it's about 4 years stuck at $3. But I can't say it's a better buy than Micron, right? Like, you literally can't say it Grab's a better buy than Micron here, Grab's a better buy than Lam Research here, even though those names have gone parabolic, because they have a narrative that is more rooted in AI. And you know, Mercado Libre has been hit this year, Nubank's been hit this year, C Limited's been hit. C Limited had one of their best earnings in history last quarter, and they were taken down 30%. So I mean, it's down 40% this year. Like, and they have way better fundamentals than Grab from a operating leverage perspective. So I don't know. I think emerging markets are kind of dead unless they're like Kioxia in Japan. For those that don't know, that's an AI memory company. That's up like 200% in the past couple of months because it's memory. And like, we need memory and it's AI. Like, if you're in the right thematic, you're winning. If you're not, it's just dead money for now.
yeah. Kioxia doesn't get talked about very often, but it's like literally one of the largest memory names in South Korea. It's like it's an unbelievably large name. And by the way, they're doing a massive partnership. I think it's like $100 billion partnership with SanDisk as well.
And really, I was asked, yeah, like it really, this is one other thing we talked about the meetup. It's like, you know, who wants to sit on dead money? Grab is dead money. Mercado Libre is dead money. Meta's dead money. Microsoft's been dead money. Amazon's been, who wants to sit on that when you're seeing everything run? But then you also remind yourself, like, well, it's a game of musical chairs on the names that, I mean, do we really think Lam Research and Micron and SanDisk and all those names for the next 10, 15 years have operating leverage, pricing power, and earnings growth that you could reasonably say, I want to be part of for the next decade and a half? It's like, I don't know. I don't know if that's the case. But in the next 2 years, it's definitely going to create way more alpha than any of the names I just mentioned. And that's been the challenge this whole freaking year.
Problem is, if you go into Micron saying you're going to buy it, sell it in a year and a half, then go into Amazon, you never know when to sell it, and you don't know when to buy Amazon. It's a game that's so hard to time. So maybe your answer is buy both and throw a stop loss on Micron as it goes up.
Yeah.
Look, what I know is when I walk downstairs, okay, and keep in mind, a lot of units in my building, okay, at least 70%, and admit you live in a building, at least 70% of packages are from Amazon.
Steve, I hate this argument so much
Why?
because it is so irrelevant. Like,
It's
we
not
know that
irrelevant.
Amazon, it is absolutely, dude, we know
No.
Amazon delivers to the entire planet. Like, that's not a thesis anymore. You can't say
No,
that,
but
oh, I see a lot of
it is
packages. Like,
very important because that is the stability of the company, along with AWS, Business Insider,
yeah,
Business.
but that's not their
Titanium.
moneymaker. Steve, that's not where this company's not worth $3 trillion
AWS
because
is
of
the
freaking.
moneymaker
Yeah, but so why are you bringing up packages? Like, who cares about the packages?
because they have built out the freight logistical service so well, nobody's getting off of Amazon, and they're going to pay that Prime
Steve,
membership.
but we
and
know
they're
this. They
gonna-
don't. They don't make money off this. They have 5.3% operating margins on e-commerce. This is not where they make their money. Like, the whole thesis on Amazon has nothing to do with delivering packages 2 hours earlier. I feel like
the
that's
part
not
of
why
it's
I'm
their
buying
supply
Amazon.
chain.
No, why is their supply chain a thesis? Like they've already beat every other manufacturing company when it comes to delivery and logistics. Like they've won, but the stock's still dead because, well, I think there's a problem with other elements of the business that haven't scaled from a margin perspective to make them excited.
Even if the margins are bad, they traded half the valuation of Walmart and they have better margins than Walmart.
Yeah, look, again, I think everyone and their mother agrees with you on the comparison between Walmart, but it's how the market's think. Amazon delivering packages quickly has never been my thesis. Like my mom getting 17 packages
That's
a
not
day
my
is not my
thesis either. I'm
thesis.
saying that's the bedrock of the company. And their supply chain that they built, they are now outsourcing, and they're going to make even more money with a business inside of a business. They have AWS reaccelerating. They have Trainium chips. You have the Prime membership. You have, and here's the thing that I'm going to push back on with the e-commerce business. Without that e-commerce business, you don't have advertising. That advertising business did $17 billion last quarter.
I'm just saying none of this is new or
No, none of it's new.
Change.
I'm not saying it's new by any means, but it's a way
Yeah,
more exciting business than Walmart and Costco.
I agree, but they have free cash flow and Amazon doesn't. For now, like that's the issue. I agree with you. Walmart shouldn't be trading this multiple. Package delivery has never been exciting to me about Amazon. It's always been AWS robots and what they're doing with AI and chips.
Right, but look at it as the flywheel of getting people in, because without that, you don't grow the advertising. Advertising is going to be $100 billion business this year. That sits on top of the e-commerce.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
And Prime
That's a fair
Video
point.
and yeah.
And but once
that's
again,
fair.
with Prime Video, you don't get Prime memberships without the e-commerce. The e-commerce is the flywheel for so many other things.
But don't you think that's priced in? Like the
I'm not
e-commerce
saying
narrative
it's
is
not priced
fully
in. I'm
priced.
just saying that the valuation today makes no sense. That's what I'm saying. When you have Walmart doing less everything except for free cash flow, it makes zero sense why we trade where we do on Amazon.
Well, that I 100% agree with. I mean, you've been consistent on this for a long time. That the multiple disparity between companies that do relatively the same thing, one's just a bit more physical, does not deserve the premium.
Yeah, I mean, look, you can't dispute the numbers. Amazon, Walmart, revenue is pretty much the same, but Amazon has more revenue growth. They have better margins. They do more gross profit, more EBITDA by a wide margin, 3x, 4x the EBITDA. Operating income, roughly 3x. Net income, 3.5, 4x. Better margins up and down the line. The only thing they don't have a better margin on is free cash flow. And we know why, because they're aggressively investing. Cash from operations, they do 3.5, 3.7 times more cash from operations. And you're paying 16 times EBITDA versus 20.5. I mean, this does not make sense at all. And if we look on a forward basis, the biggest telltale with these two, Amazon has double the growth, double the forward growth. Trades at 18 times forward, Walmart at 31.6. Doesn't make sense.
Somebody said in the chat, Steve is the Steve Burry of Costco.
Don't make me put Costco on here, please.
Or Michael Burry, sorry.
Steve, I bought Amazon at $234.80 a week ago, I think.
Yeah.
About a week ago.
And I saw it. I saw your stream on like Friday, and it was below 230. I couldn't believe it when I saw it below. Like I could not believe at 227 it was back there.
Yeah.
And here's my
you're right.
problem. Everybody wants to say that Walmart and Costco are recession plays. Yeah, so is Amazon. Nobody's going to stop ordering on Amazon because of recession. You're getting everything you need on Amazon too. And they have AWS. And they have the freight logistics that's being opened up to third party. And Prime membership's more important than the Costco membership. Like nobody's getting rid of the Prime membership. This just doesn't make
Problem
sense.
is, on the e-com side, when they announce 2-hour delivery or grocery stores or expansion into these logistic partnerships, the stock never moves on that stuff ever. Like if you note, like
Never.
PillPack, pharmacy, that's the only part where I'm like, when you say there's all these packages, I'm like, okay, cool. But the stock never when they announce we're gonna, sell Trainium chips to our customers over NVIDIA GPUs, we're gonna expand our partnership with OpenAI. AWS is, having a partnership with Shopify or something. Like whenever they announce that shit, that's when the stock gets a little bit of a budge. And that's why I'm just like, okay, e-com, you're right. It's important. It's obviously been the basis for the flywheel for the advertising in particular, but it's never moved the stock. And I'm just wondering what fucking moves this stock to 300.
I don't know.
For 2 years.
Did you see what they said about NVIDIA?
What?
That they're increasing the NVIDIA GPU instances by 20%, but keeping their TPU
right.
instances the same rate.
Okay, so Tanner, is that bearish or bullish for the AI trade?
Bullish. Customers are willing to pay.
Okay, so that just means there's so much compute constraint that Amazon has pricing power, essentially.
Yeah, and if you have 1,000, or like, well, I don't want to say that, but like Nebula said, they have 4 customers asking for 1 GPU. You can kind of say, okay, well, let's see how much you guys want it. And one of the things that I going back to like Chris's point of like, hey, people are trying to save money and they're going to go use open source models. It's like, okay, go use open source models and pay much less, but the chips still run at the same rate. And so you're going to have 4, 10, 20x the usage on those open source models to get way more out for the same cost, but you're just going to do way more of it. I think it's bullish. The customers that will show up to be able to pay for it will. The customers that can't pay, and if they decide, hey, you know what, no one can afford this, they'll lower the cost. So, and then you'll see CapEx start to get slashed. If no one can afford it, then they're going to stop buying GPUs. But we've seen no sign of that.
Do you think the Trainium stuff is like, because I remember the stock moved last week when there was a Bloomberg headline on Trainium versus NVIDIA GPU. Do you think that's like a legit thing that,
I'm really surprised that they're not doing any benchmarks with NVIDIA. And Jensen said that, SemiAnalysis has all these inference benchmarks and everything. They say, hey, why doesn't TPU or Trainium come up against NVIDIA? Why are none of these companies signing up to use their chips to show the power of these platforms? Why are you just saying
so you think it's a little shady?
Yeah, I mean, they're like, Dylan Patel will they'll probably test it for free. Show us your strength. But I still think the amount of compute is, there will be a ton. Cerebras will be a winner. I think Trainium will be a winner. I think TPU will be a winner. All of these names will be winners. And the external business is huge. Like if was it Google or Amazon that said if they went externally with this, it could be a $50 billion business. Annual run rate business. That's larger than YouTube. It's incredible how much that could be additive to their business. Way more than a 2-hour delivery or something like this. That I think is harder for investors to put their thumb on how big of an impact that would be financially.
So remember last week when Jassy told the U.S. government like there were issues with Anthropic's models?
Yeah. Being one of the largest shareholders.
I think what's happening is Anthropic is trying to make their own chips.
That's definitely true.
I mean, they just signed the agreement with Micron, right? So if Anthropic's making their own custom silicon, maybe Jassy's pissed because he thought Anthropic was going to be using more Trainium. And then he told the U.S. government to Xnay Fable 5. And he's trying to get some leverage with Anthropic to keep spending on Trainium.
Yeah, but now we have, NVIDIA loves to stay in their own lane, and they're happy to support their customers. And now OpenAI is setting up their own, jalapeno chips or whatever?
With Broadcom.
Yeah, with Broadcom. And
Dude, and the Cerebrus one,
right,
like,
that too. And so I think Jensen feels slighted by that. And so the what do you call it? The performance improvements of Nemotron 3 Ultra are also really excited as an open source, open weight model. Very interesting for NVIDIA to say, okay, you guys want to undercut me? I'll undercut you. Let's see who wants to use our models. And we'll put our, $5 trillion backing behind some of the best AI scientists the world has and create our own AI models, which is not something they like to do. Jensen always says, we try to do as little as possible, as much as necessary. If there's already model providers and all of these things, they would have no need to even produce their own versions of models. But if they feel threatened in some sort of way, there's a possibility where NVIDIA can be much more than just a chip provider. They already are, but I don't think that's in many people's models, is that NVIDIA can become a larger ecosystem the same way that Apple at one point was a hardware provider, then became, much more of a services business.
yeah, it's a fair point. I think Cerebrus is very interesting as well. I still think the valuation on it is really stupid, but like,
Yeah, that's
collapsed
the only thing.
50%.
Yeah. I definitely think they're going to be a winner. It's just, it's pricey whenever you put it up against like an NVIDIA, for example. Faster growth, better margins, lower multiple.
But it's way smaller, which has been the story this whole year, right? Buy the smaller, more expensive name.
You probably saw that Couture presentation on the All In Summit talking about how the bigger companies are more likely to 10x.
They said bigger companies are more likely to 10x.
Yeah, the chance that a company goes from 1 to 10 billion, I think, is like an 8% chance. A company that goes from 10 to 100 billion was like a 16% chance. A company that goes from 100 billion to 1 trillion is like a 31% chance. And David Sachs even added and said the likelihood of a company going from 1 trillion to 10 trillion is probably somewhere like 60%. But that we don't know that information yet. But yeah, bigger companies are likely to 10x.
I did say I couldn't stay long, but I'm still here. Somehow Steve does it. He gets you into these streams. He's become a master at just like keeping people. He asks a good question. He says something. You're like, I have to respond to that. I have to be here.
We have to create some sort of open panel that just runs, and then it'd be fun to jump on for 10 minutes, jump off, new people. I guess there's other networks that are similarly like that, but not quite YouTube focused, or I think the conversation is as free flowing as this.
I agree. It would be fun to do that. Steve, by the way, so are you ever gonna make your terminal like something people pay for?
I have a meeting
Because
with FMP tomorrow.
okay, because so my uncle has an idea that I think when he described it to me, it was such a good idea, and I was like, I think Steve could vibe code that in a couple of days, and my uncle would legit pay like $100 a month for it, and I really think you could easily create it. And so I don't know, dude. I think you gotta.
I have a
think of
meeting
getting
with
that
them
shit out
tomorrow to discuss what I can and what I cannot do, and how much it's going to cost me to do what everybody wants. So there will
Dude,
be an
even if you
answer
charge-
this week.
Even if you do $10 a month, which I think is super reasonable for the level of shit in that thing that I've seen, and then you can keep updating and adding stuff to it. I also think $10 is not like the legal regulatory, like there's all these products like stock screeners and stuff that are out there. I don't know how much regulation. You're not giving financial advice. You're just giving a tool to people that they can use for research.
Yeah, there's a ton of
I think people would pay.
Qualtromms or
Dude, I think at $10 a month you could easily justify it. Now the problem is your compute costs may force you to increase the price because of the token shit. But
Let me get through
There's
tomorrow's
a lot of stuff.
meeting, and there'll be an answer this week.
if you launch it, I have to invest in it. I've used the A16Z money. I'm throwing it at you. Like, all right, milkman. When I've done 2 investments so far, and they're like describe your investment thesis. I'm gonna write Milk Gang and press them, and they can't reject me. By the way, they have to accept every one of my investments of at least 25,000. If I want to do more than 25,000, I have to have a meeting with them. But if it's 25,000 or less, they're like, dude. Like I literally asked the partner, I was like, so I can do anything? They're like, we want you to do anything. Like we just want you to be the earliest person in it. So I will be giving 25,000 to Milk Gang.
Well, we'll figure
Steve will have
something
the
out.
CapEx problem as well. Yeah, the CapEx problem will be affecting you, Steve.
We'll figure something out. You've been getting pretty good at reading the charts, right?
I wouldn't say pretty good. I'm trying to get better at TA. Pretty good's too far. But I think I'm understanding a lot of the basics around VWAP, Bollinger Bands, like all that stuff.
All right, that's what I was going to ask you to take a look at. I made an update to this for the technical analysis day trader. So I'm not sure if I show. I'm not sure if I showed you or not, but I added a ton of stuff in here, and it's actually saying that NVIDIA bought is short right now.
NVIDIA's a short right now.
Yeah, because the price below VWAP, the EMA 9, the MACD.
But is this for
Ikebushu,
what time for? Is this for a weekly
3 to
short
10
or a
days.
month? 3 to 10. Okay, so weekly short.
Yeah,
Okay.
1 to 10 days. It's on day trade.
Yeah, the thing about TA that I've noticed, dude, is like, and as I've started trading more, is like you could have a thesis on something, and then immediately, like the volume profile flips super bullish, and whatever thesis you had, kind of maybe because of a macro reason or something, but it like it's hard for AI to give you exactly what to do and how to do it. However, there are certain moments where it's like very easy to make money. Like very easy to make money when you see certain things in the chart, like losing VWAP, losing support, volume profile going red, and then you bring in like a macro bad jobs report. Like all that together is very easy. Like, okay, I'm going short. And you only need a couple bucks. You know, if you're short 1,000 shares, stock moves down $2, you made $2,000, right? And so there is a lot of. I don't think TA is bullshit at all. I think it can turn into BS if you have a long enough time frame where, you know, things happen in earnings. But if you have like a 20-minute time frame, you can look at certain indicators and you can learn where the chart's going. It's not that complicated. It's just obviously doing it consistently is not easy, right? And that's why Jason is so good at what he does.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think in your Jarvis thing, AI definitely could play a role with helping people with TA. I also think, dude, option selling. There's a lot of people I talked to the meetup. There's a lot of people that sell premium. I think there's a role for your Jarvis thing to really help people figure out what stocks to sell premium on, like sell calls, sell puts, and that could be a big feature for it.
No, he's
Adam,
up
thank
to,
you for the super chat, Adam. You're the man. Much appreciated.
he's up to a 41.7% win ratio. So he's getting there. He's getting there.
Boys, I'm going to run. Thanks for letting me jump in really quick and just talk about
Yeah.
some of that memory conversation that you guys were having.
Yeah, we're gonna end it out here. Thank you everybody for joining. Real quick, Vulcan, thank you as always. I don't think it's bearish. We went over that. Tanner went over it. I don't think it's bearish memory names. Chef Mike, thank you very much. The oil markets are holding, so we got to see what happens in the morning. But the oil markets are holding, and then
these two guys in the caps are like watching paint dry when they talk. That's me and you, Tanner.
I'm tired, man.
all right.
I thought you guys were
everyone.
great. I was listening the whole time.
Thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate it. I will be back 8:45 in the morning, filling in for a minute.
It'll be night for me. I'll have Steve on this
There
big
you go.
screen right here, and we'll be listening to Milkman right there.
All right, everyone. Please, if you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe. Go like and subscribe to Tanner. Go like and subscribe to Amit. Go like and subscribe to Matt. Please support everybody. All right. Thank you very much.